Following him up, Foster Apple bats second. Yesterday he batted ninth. Ryan Smythe electing to move the Stetson left fielder up in the order. Batting third, the shortstop. From the right-handed side, it's Lincoln Garcia heading to Texas in the spring. Middle of the order, Dylan Dubovic, Levi Clark, Tony Lira, all three right-handed hitters. And rounding out the nine, Nate Nowitzki, who got the day off yesterday. Drew Rogers also got the day off yesterday. R.J. Hamilton, the center fielder, back roaming the middle of the outfield after starting at second yesterday. The starter for the Brewster Whitecaps is the 6', 190-pound left-hander from LSU, Santi Garcia, who readies at the top of the mound, and we're set to go. Ramirez digs in, a left-on-right matchup to begin things here at Stony Brook Field. He takes a called strike on the inside corner and a 5:03 first pitch, 3 minutes behind schedule here at Brewster for the first time this season.
Garcia, the big lefty, 6', 191, out of LSU, 21 appearances this past season with a 1-1 record, a 5.96 ERA, and 22 2/3 innings pitched.
Ramirez takes downstairs for ball one. Count even 1 ball and 1 strike. Ramirez swinging a scorching hot bat as he swings in. Skies the 1-1 foul. Right side behind home plate and behind in the count now 1-2. Ramirez back-to-back games with 3 hits after being hitless in the season opener on Saturday against Catuit. Certainly starting to find his groove. The shortstop in the transfer portal. It's the 1-2 on the way. Pitch high for ball 2. Fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup for the lefty from LSU. Won't face his future teammate, or at least not as the way Wareham lines up in the start. Jason Wax out of the lineup after starting the first 3 games. 2-2 out of the windup. Popped foul. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nice job by Ramirez here early on. The 6 hits that he's had over the last 2 games have all been singles. He hasn't been trying to do too much at the plate. A pure contact guy with pop, and he's really been using that to his advantage after going 0-3 in the opener.
2-2 with the bases clear to the leadoff man, Ramirez. Garcia fires, fouled straight back. Ramirez struck out just a 6% rate this past spring at Cal Baptist. Doesn't go down without a fight. Works deep into counts. And right now making Garcia work for it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, nobody out. The pitch grounded to the left side to the third baseman. Throw on to first, it's in time. Will Moore to Petey Kraska. And the first out of the game is a 5-3 putout to Chris Ramirez.
Now batting,
and if you're the Gatemen, yesterday the 7-6 win was really all about getting that first run on the board, getting that first win on the board. The pressure is definitely off. It was on heading into yesterday's game against Chatham, but once that first run came across, seemed like the dugout really let up a lot of that pressure, a lot of that tenseness, and is now ready to attack here in Brewster.
Garcia's first pitch to Foster Apple is lifted foul into the netting, and count 0-1. Brewster lines up defensively, catching the balls and strikes. It's Jacob Lee. Left to right in the infield, Will Moore, who just retired Chris Ramirez at the hot corner. Jake Lambden plays shortstop. Jamie Laskowski at second, and the first baseman, Petey Kraska. It's the 2 ready for the 0-1. Garcia set just above the belt, winds and delivers. Pitch up and away. Apple looks at it for ball 1. Playing left field, Adam Magpo. In center, Michael Torres. And rounding out the 9 defensively, Terrence Keel in right. 1 ball, 1 strike to Foster Apple. Still in search of his first hit here in the Cape League season. He takes ball 2 downstairs.
And Apple has had some quality at-bats, but he's also been plunked a few times. Hasn't really had a true chance. 0 for 4 on the season, but has been hit 3 times.
4th game of the season, averaging 1 hit by pitch per game. The 2-1. Called strike, inner third. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fastball at 89 miles an hour from the left hand of Garcia. Brewster coming off a rough day yesterday. A loss to Orleans in which they were not dominated throughout, as the 2-2 is shot to the left side of the infield. The pitcher Garcia comes off the mound to his seat. He throws it late and offline, so An infield single for Foster Apple, and it wasn't hard contact, but the left fielder from Stetson has his first base knock of the summer.
All you need is one. The Gatemen proved that yesterday against Chatham after putting up that one run in the fourth, and you hope it's just a trickle-down effect now for some of those guys like Foster Apple who are looking for that first hit and a chance here for the big righty Lincoln Garcia to do some damage.
Garcia batting third today, was 1 for 4 with an RBI yesterday in Wareham's win over Chatham. Talking about Brewster, not the day that they wanted. A 9-1 loss to Orleans, who was winless heading into the day. First pitch to Garcia, called strike down the middle. He takes at the knees, and the count's 0-1. Brewster surrendered 12 hits, 9 runs. Committed 1 error in the field, 0-1 cut on and missed. Garcia in his first inning of work for Brewster, making his first start of the summer. Both teams at 1-2 heading into today. The 1-2 pitch is down and in, and the count now 1-2. Garcia pounding the zone early on. 16 pitches, 11 for strikes. His 17th comes from the stretch. And instead, a check on first. Foster Apple back with a head first dive.
Apple's been getting a large lead over there at first base, so Garcia just keeping him in check, not wanting him to go anywhere.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 gone, top of the first. Garcia sets, fires. Inside, and Garcia sees a couple of balls, and now the count 2-2.
And the catcher for Brewster, Jacob Lee, 0 for 2 on caught stealing attempts this year, so maybe Foster Apple wants to test his arm.
Garcia comes set. Left on right, the pitch. Cut and a miss. Garcia has his first strikeout of the night. Lincoln Garcia, the victim. Blows a 91-mile-an-hour fastball by him, and there's 2 down in the top of the first.
Dylan Dubovic next to the dish, and this is a guy that really sparked Wareham offensively. He had a double yesterday down the left field line, and then from there came around to scores the first run of the Gatemen season. 2
of the 3 games, Dubovic, multiple hits. 6'4" sophomore from Miami, and another check on Apple at first. A deceptive move from the southpaw Garcia. Lifts his leg. Looks like he's going home, but instead, already facing first base, Petey Kraska, the first baseman, holding on Apple. Continues to creep off the base at first. The pitch comes home. It's cut on and missed. Another fastball. Dubovic underneath it for strike 1.
Comes in at 90 miles an hour, and Garcia's done a nice job working just the zone, really, so far in this inning. Most of the swing and miss has come inside of the black.
Runner on first, 2 gone. Top of the first, Garcia to Dubovic. The pitch, breaking ball, outside corner, a called strike. 0-2. Garcia working himself ahead in the count. Left-hander from LSU getting his first start. The 4-pitch mix, fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup. Went curveball to get ahead 0-2. With Apple on first, Garcia steps off and lobs it over to the first baseman. Not necessarily a competitive throw, but one to acknowledge that Apple's still taking a sizable lead off of first base. 0-2. Garcia sets and fires. Called strike 3. Dubovic looks at a breaking ball, paints the outside corner for a called strike 3. Well, a 1-out infield single is all Wareham can manage in the top of the first. 1 hit, no runs, no errors in the field, and 1 runner left on base. Top of the Brewster order to swing it on the other side to face the righty starter from Texas Tech, Connor Mohan, when we return on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Back at Stony Brook Field for the bottom of the first with Dan Shalam. I'm Adam Hipsky. No score between the Gatemen and Whitecaps. Brewster trying to do something about it, Dan, but to do so, they'll have to do it against the 6'4", 190-pound junior, Connor Mohan, making his first start of the summer.
Yes, sir. Out of Burleson, Texas. Went to Texas Tech this past season. Fastball 39% of the time. Cutter 23, slider 20. Changeup at 17. Sinker and curveball at under 1%. And he had a 10.94 ERA this past season and 15 appearances. 38 and 2/3 innings pitched. Last pitched against Cincinnati in his college season where he went 3 2/3 with 2 hits, a run, that being earned. So a guy who made a handful of starts this past season, looking to give some good length here to the Gatemen.
Four-pitch mix for Mohan, the junior, like you mentioned, from Texas Tech. He'll deal to the switch-hitting Adam Magpo to start things out, the left fielder from San Diego State. He takes his place in the left-handed batter's box. The first pitch is outside for ball one. It'll be the lefty Jamie Laskowski. Currently resides in the on-deck circle. Jacob Lee, the catcher from VCU, bats third. 1-0 the count. Mohan from the windup. Fastball down and away. Ball two. Magpo got his first hit yesterday, making his fourth start in as many games for Jamie Shevchik in his 12th year as the manager for the Whitecaps. Two-time champion here at Brewster. 2-0. Called strike. Back to the fastball. 91-mile-an-hour four-seamer. Dots the outside corner. 2-1.
Magpo was one of the pitchers that pitched in the 3-team scrimmage between Bourne, Brewster, and Wareham the Thursday before the season started.
2-1. Fouled straight back, and back-to-back strikes from Connor Mohan.
So
Counts level 2-2.
Some good swing and miss stuff in that one. Brewster has seen him before, obviously in a limited capacity, only threw 15, 20 pitches in that, but a team that he's familiar with.
Magpo back with Brewster for the second straight summer. 2-2 outside. That fastball touches 93, and count runs full to the leadoff man in the bottom of the first, Adam Magpo. 5'10" senior. It's a tough out to get. Small strike zone at 5'10", 170 pounds. He's drawn 5 free passes this summer. The payoff pitch is downstairs. It grazes the dirt, and the leadoff man is aboard. Command is something that this Wareham pitching staff has struggled with in the early going this summer, Dan, and not a great start for Connor Mohan in the bottom of the first.
Certainly. Issued 8 walks yesterday against Chatham. That did not help out Wareham in any way, and these starters have really put themselves behind in a lot of games early on. It's been hard for Wareham to avoid giving up the early runs.
And especially you don't want to put Adam Magpok on. Stole 26 bases last summer with Brewster, and Connor Mohan, message received there, quick check on first, and Magpok is back. Right on left, and Laskowski squares to bunt. It gets away from Rogers. The throw down to second. Not in time, and a feet-first slide from Magpok, and Brewster has one in scoring position.
This is a guy that led Brewster in stolen bases last year, was the Brewster MVP for that specific reason. The ball gets a little bit away there from Rogers, just bounces off his right leg, and now some early trouble for Connor Mohan to work around.
Have to imagine the Whitecaps wanted Magpok to run eventually, but that time it comes on the first pitch, and the second one is down and away for ball 2.
And at first, Laskowski in this AB was squaring to bunt. So will be interesting to see if he reverts back to that. 2-ball, no strike count. It's in his advantage.
Runner on second. Laskowski, the left-handed hitter. The pitch. Check swing. The appeal down. And Laskowski did not offer. The rising junior that just finished a couple of seasons at William and Mary. In and out of the transfer portal, headed to North Carolina. The Tar Heels still alive in Omaha in the College World Series, but Laskowski getting ready for his junior season, but he takes a strike on the inside corner. Count now 3-1.
Big spot here early on for Connor Mohan. Battled to get that first strike, and you have to throw something competitive here right now.
Just the third strike of the day for Mohan. His 11th pitch comes home. It's hit on the ground, right side, through the hole for a base hit. Magpok rounds third. The throw to the plate is in time, on target, and he's out. The throw down to second, not in time. So a single from Laskowski. He takes second on the throw to the plate, but a laser from right, and Dylan Dubovic flashed the leather, cuts down the lead runner, and still no score in the bottom of the first.
That's a big defensive assist right there. If you're Dylan Dubovic in right field, that was a missile. Seemed like Magpok actually got a late jump on that one, going from second base. He was rounding third as the throw was coming in on that play. A nice job by Drew Rogers to be ready and make the play at home.
And Ramirez, the second baseman, shaded towards the bag at second, brings a large gap, and now Mohan turns and throws to Ramirez as he moved from left to right as we see it.
And that's where Laskowski shot the ball on that most recent play, through that big hole, because Magpok was at second base, so Ramirez had to shade over and cover the back.
Right on right here to Jacob Lee, the catcher from VCU. One away, the pitch from Mohan is foul tipped into the mid of Rogers, strike one. 6'2", 205-pound rising junior. Lee was 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts yesterday. Laskowski creeps off the base at second. 0-1. Mohan, the pitch. Swing and a miss. And Mohan struggled to locate the zone early on, but a couple of swinging strikes has him ahead 0-2 to the catcher Lee.
Nice job settling in here for Connor Mohan, just pounding the zone, and that is what's going to work for him in this start.
0-2, Mohan nods, trying to get the second out of the inning. The pitch, slider that tails away from Lee in the count 1-2.
Drew Rogers doing a nice job blocking, keeping that one in front of him. He had a pass ball earlier on in this one, so a nice job there of squaring up and getting down.
Drew Rogers, the catcher, making his third start in 4 games as the backstop for Wareham. So we'll get you the defensive alignment in just a moment. After the 1-2. High chopper, left side to the third baseman Nowitzki, who charges and gloves, but just foul. Was ready to make a play on it, but collected it just in front of the bag at third, and count remains 1-2. So we just mentioned it, Nate Nowitzki, the third baseman today, making his first start at the hot corner. Started on Sunday at second, but today at third. Lincoln Garcia is the shortstop. Chris Ramirez making his first start at second base. Started the first 3 games at short. He moves across the middle of the infield to second. And Levi Clark at first, making his debut with Wareham. Just came into town this morning at 8:30. Told Ryan Smythe he was ready to go as the 1-2 comes home. Swing and a miss. Into the dirt and a drop third strike. But Lee concedes. He walks back to the third base dugout, and there's 2 down. A nice bounce back from Connor Mohan after allowing a couple of base runners.
And now you're just one batter away from getting out of this, having 2 runners in scoring position and no one coming across. This would be an impressive out here for Connor Mohan.
Brings up Petey Kraska, the first baseman from North Alabama, third team A-Sun this past spring. 6'2", redshirt junior. Right on left, Mohan, the righty, deals. It's inside for ball one, 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
This would also be somewhat of a moral victory for the Gatemen as well. They've let up a run in the first inning in back-to-back games now. They've had trouble keeping it clean early on. This would be a big 0.
Garrett Lambert got the opening day start, went 5 innings, gave up just 1 hit, but since then, no Wareham starter has made it into the 5th inning. This pitch is chopped foul, 1-1. Kraska 0 for 2, the pair of strikeouts yesterday. Playing first base, as Wareham lines up defensively in the outfield, Foster Apple in left, R.J. Hamilton back in center, and Dylan Dubovic in right as the pitch is cut on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dubovic, we just saw make the excellent throw from right field to the plate. Mohan ahead 1-2. Had thrown just 2 strikes in his first 10 pitches. Now 10 strikes on 19 pitches. This one, though, outside. Count evens 2-2. Even count, runner on second. Laskowski singled and took second on the throw after the leadoff man Magpok was cut down trying to score a run. 2-2, cut on and missed. Back-to-back punch-outs for Connor Mohan. A nice job after giving up a walk and a single. 1 hit, no runs, no errors in the field for Wareham, and 1 runner left on and in scoring position for the Brewster Whitecaps. We're through 1 at Stony Brook Field. No score between Wareham and Brewster.
Hey Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A+ Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Back here at Stony Brook Field for the top of the second, no score between Wareham and Brewster. Adam Hipsky with Dan Shalam, 5'6'7", due up to the plate for the Gatemen. And it starts with the first baseman from Tennessee, Levi Clark. Dan making his debut with the Gatemen in 2026. One of the returners from 2025.
And how could you not be excited about this guy? Was an All-Cape League selection last season, batted .333 with Wareham, 25 hits, was an integral part of the lineup, and head coach Ryan Smythe happy that he is back and was so eager to play today.
Yeah, got here at 8:30, takes ball 1 downstairs. It's a changeup in the dirt. Count 1-0. Yeah, gets here at 8:30 and tells the skipper that he's ready to go. He wants to be in the lineup. 1-0, high above the letters, and count now 2-0.
And that's what you want out of someone like Levi Clark. Enjoyed his summer so much last year. He doesn't want to waste a day. He wants to be right back out there with the Gatemen.
Left on right, facing the starter Santi Garcia, who deals the 2-0 pitch, and it's inside. Goes back to the fastball, in at the belt. 3 balls, no strikes now to Levi Clark, the leadoff man in the top of the second. It's the southpaw into his delivery. This time he does find the zone. Outside corner, a called strike. 87 miles an hour. Count 3-1. It's the pitch. Gets through the legs of the backstop Lee, and a 5-pitch walk to the leadoff man, Levi Clark. So after Wareham allowed a leadoff base runner via the free pass in the first, now Brewster does the same to start the second.
Clark with an 11% walk rate. He's a guy who's disciplined at the dish. Not a huge stolen base guy. Only had 1 this past season with Tennessee. But a chance for Tony Lira to cause some harm here for Wareham.
And Lira, the only Gateman to have a hit in each of his first 3 games, steps in with nobody out and a runner on first. And the offering is up and away. Garcia struggling to locate the zone early on here in the second. Was excellent in the first frame. As the pitch is cut on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Garcia dials up the fastball. Lira behind it. Count level 1-1. Clark, not a big base stealing threat. He continues to inch off the bag at first. Pitch comes in. It's outside, 2-1.
It's a struggle for control right now if you're Santi Garcia. Another 2-1 count. Just had a 4-1 count where you let up the walk against Levi Clark.
Lira just 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. He's ahead 2-1, and he skies it right side. Twisting foul, it's out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Tony Lira, who came in a couple of days ago as a substitution after Caden McDonald, who drew his first start at first base, got injured, was hit by a pitch. We have not seen Caden McDonald since, and Levi Clark just got picked off at first. An excellent move from the lefty Garcia. He had 1 move that almost got Foster Apple in the first, but this time picks off Clark, and there is 1 away in the top of the second.
And that's tough for Clark. It's your first time on the base paths this season for Wareham. And with the lefty on the mound, Garcia, he can lift that leg, look to you, and if he wants to throw it, and he got caught there.
Yeah, back to the left-on-right matchup with the Lira with the bases clear. 2-2 is bounced right side and foul. Lee throws it down to the first baseman, Kroska, anyways, but still 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the top of the second between Wareham and Brewster. No score. Levi Clark drew a leadoff walk and then was picked off. Not a ton of hard contact made against the left-handed starter so far. Lira trying to change that to 2-2. Spikes in the dirt, and it gets away from Lee, but after the pickoff move, I think Lee had kind of forgot that there was nobody on the base paths because he sprinted out of his crouch, got over to retrieve the ball that bounced in the dirt, but after Garcia eliminated the 1 threat.
That's heads up. Can't be mad about that.
Always got to be ready. Payoff pitch and a full count. It's coming home. It's smoked down the left field line and foul. Lira in front of the 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Pulled it down the left field line. Looking to straighten it out here in another 3-2 offering.
Got good one on it. A .424 hitter against righties with Arizona this season on the fastball.
Fortunately for Lira, facing the southpaw here for Brewster. The 3-2 is cut on and missed. 2 down after Levi Clark was picked off and Tony Lira strikes out. It's the 3rd punch-out of the day for Santi Garcia. And brings up Nate Nowitzki, the 7th hitting 3rd baseman from Arizona.
Strikeout still an issue for Wareham. 14 across the first 2 games. Cut that down to just 9 last night, but already 3 here in just 1 and 2/3 innings.
Yeah, Garcia trying to face the minimum. Can do so if he retires Nowitzki. With the bases clear and 2 away. The first pitch, fastball that bounces on the plate, but Lee with a nice pick, keeps it in front of him. 1 ball, no strikes. Nowitzki got the day off yesterday. Swings at the 1-0 pitch and lifts it foul behind home plate. We're diamond side slightly slanted down the 3rd base line here at Stony Brook Field. No lights, so darkness is in play, but the 1-1 outside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
And we did see darkness come into play yesterday between Bourne and Katuitt. That game was ended early because of darkness.
Yeah, Lowell Park, no lights at Katuitt. 2-1 is swung on and missed. In and out of the glove of Lee, but count still 2-2. Some parks here on the Cape, no lights. So the latest that a game can start at Stony Brook Field is 5 o'clock, exercising that today. A 5 p.m. scheduled first pitch we got going at 5:03 today. 2-2, 2 away. Pitch is a breaking ball. Tails beneath the bottom rail for ball 3.
And hopefully those 3 minutes don't come back to bite us.
Yeah.
Everyone here wants to get in a full 9 innings. And so far this season, Brewster has done that here at Stony Brook Field.
3-2. Did he go? The appeal down to the third base umpire. He did not, and Nowitzki draws a walk. It's the second free pass issued off the left hand of Santi Garcia this inning. But after picking off Levi Clark, Nowitzki, the lone base runner for the Gatemen, in the top of the second.
Drew Rogers at the dish now, still searching for his first hit of this Cape League season.
Rogers digs in the right side. Backstop from Georgia Tech. 6'1", right-handed hitter. Garcia just faced the lone lefty in the lineup for the Gatemen in Nowitzki. The first pitch to Rogers. Breaking ball. Bottom rail, called strike, 0-1. So Rogers got the day off catching yesterday. It was Cohen Niklai who caught the balls and strikes for the Gatemen. Had a solo shot, but getting the day off today. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, a healthy cut. Got Garcia got Rogers, rather, to chase downstairs and threw 2 pitches. Rogers is behind 0-2.
Has struggled this season with the strikeout. 3 on the year.
0-2, 2 away. Runner on first, Nowitzki dances towards the bag, and the pitch is cut on and missed. And the third strikeout of the fourth, rather, for Garcia through 2 innings. He's working very well through this Wareham order the first time around. On the other side, Connor Mohan returns to work, facing the 5, 6, 7 hitters for the first time today in the Whitecaps lineup. When we return on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Back to work for the bottom of the second. No score between the Gatemen and the Whitecaps with Dan Shalam. I'm Adam Hipsky. 5, 6, 7 due up to face the starter Connor Mohan, back out for his second inning of work. 2 strikeouts and a little bit of help from his defense for the starter from Texas Tech in his first inning.
Had a nice defensive assist from Dylan Dubovic, prevented a run from scoring, and now gets to go against somewhat at the bottom of the order here for Brewster. And really after those first 2 batters he faced, settled in, finished that first with back-to-back strikeouts.
He starts out well here in the second. A first pitch strike to Jake Lambden, the shortstop from Duke. Facing his teammate out in center field, R.J. Hamilton, a couple of Blue Devils, one for the Gatemen, one for the Whitecaps. The 0-1 is popped foul, right side, out of play. And Mohan ahead, nothing gaps. The 0-1 is popped foul, right side, out of play. And Mohan ahead, 0-2 after a 91-mile-an-hour fastball is
ready to smash anything that comes inside the zone.
the 0-1, and he pulls it down the right side, and it gets past a diving Ramirez, trickles into right field, and a base hit with one down in the bottom of the second for Dane Harvey. It wasn't a grand slam, Dan, but he gets on base for the Whitecaps for the first time in this frame.
That's one that Ramirez wants back, was moving over to the left side of his body, tries to make the sliding grab, hits off of his glove, trickles into the outfield. It was going to be a single regardless, but you thought the back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year might have been able to pull it off. Just too tough of a play.
Felt like that would have been stealing an out right there, but Ramirez certainly capable of doing so. Brings up Will Moore, the third baseman from Indiana. Right on left, plenty of left-handed hitters in this Whitecaps order, but he takes inside for a called strike, 0-1. 5 lefties, 1 switch hitter, and 3 righties for Jamie Shevchik. 0-1 with 1 away and a runner on first. The righty Mohan deals. And he tries to throw it down to first, and instead it ends up clipping our home plate umpire. Brendan Murphy got a piece of Drew Rogers trying to backpick down to first.
That is something you do not see
No,
every day.
pretty much
And
never.
Rogers going out to the bump now just to give some extra time. That one hit straight off the mask.
Yeah, so Rogers collected the pitch. It's a 1-1 count. Tried to go check on Harvey over at first, and then Murphy's mask was flipped off in the process.
Ball shoots into a dugout. I don't think anyone wants that. Last night we had that as well
Yeah.
back at home.
I think Connor Mohan right now just won strike 3. He has 2 punch outs today. Takes a glare over his left shoulder. Now comes home with the payoff pitch, and it's just outside for ball 4. So after the count gets worked full, Brewster has 2 on and 1 out in the bottom of the second. Still no score between the Gatemen and Whitecaps.
And that pitch missed on the outside part of the plate. Mohan was really trying to work the corners. 4 pitches in that at-bat, 2 on each side that missed. All 3 strikes were in the middle of the zone. So we'll see what he does here against a righty.
So Harvey over to second. He singled. Moore on first. He walked. It brings up the right-handed right fielder, Terrence Keel, the second from Texas A&M. First pitch to him. Called strike, bottom rail, and there's your first called strike after Drew Rogers
Took a little bit, but
lifted
got there.
the face mask over of our home plate umpire, Brendan Murphy. 0-1 the count, 1 down. Mohan trying to work through a little bit of traffic on the base paths in the bottom of the second. Keep it a scoreless ball game here on night 4 of the Cape League season. 0-1 comes in high, and the count's 1-1. Terrence Keel 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts yesterday in a 9-1 loss to Orleans. Dropped the Whitecaps to 1-2 this summer. A ball and a strike. Mohan winds and fires. It's popped right side, out of play. Foul ball, 1-2.
And a big pitch here if you're Connor Mohan. Runners at first and second. 1 down. Obviously, you're searching for the double play to get out of this inning. But you're up in this count. Keels looked a little bit off balance.
Yeah.
Go out and attack in the zone.
Middle infield with heels towards the grass. A few steps back, pinch towards the bag in that double play depth. 1-2, 1 away with runners on first and second. Mohan looks at second once, then twice, then fires home. Hit on the ground, left side, past the diving Nowitzki into left field. Harvey gets the wave around third. The throw is not to the plate. Instead, it goes to Garcia at short. And it's a 1-out RBI single from Terrence Keel the second. And the Whitecaps on the board first. It's 1-0 Brewster.
First hit for Terrence Keel of this season comes in a big way for Brewster. And that was just an unfortunate one. It was a weakly hit ground ball over to the shortstop third base side. Nowitzki dived for it. Garcia couldn't come up for it. The ball trickles into the outfield. By the time Apple gets it, Harvey's hitting third base. He's a big guy, 6'5", nearly 270. And it seemed like Apple might have had a play at the plate, but decides to just hold, play it safe.
First pitch to the ninth inning, Michael Torres is popped out of play, left side. Couple of fans begin their pursuit from the grandstands along the third base line. And the count 0-1. So Will Moore over to second after the throw was cut off. Couldn't take third on any play at the plate. I think Foster Apple knew that wasn't going to make it in time. Harvey not a particularly fast guy, but still is a bit too late. 0-1, one away. The pitch tails inside for ball one.
And I think the most disappointing part about that at-bat for Connor Mohan was he produced exactly what he wanted. He got a weak ground ball on the infield, and it was just a little bit out of the reach of his defenders.
And Nowitzki got a glove on it, but similar to the one that Harvey hit, it was off the glove of Ramirez as the 1-1 is chopped foul right side. About 5 feet to the right of the bag at first, and the count now 1-2.
You got the same exact scenario now that you just had a batter ago against Kiel. 1 ball, 2 strike count, 1 out, runners at first and second. And what he did in that one was attack, force the weak ground ball. Got to do that again and hope for a different outcome.
Now Garcia closer to the base, right behind Will Moore, who walked. He's at second. Ramirez playing straight up at second. 1-2. Breaking ball, and the dirt runner takes off. Both runners on the move. No throw from Rogers as it grazed the dirt. Couldn't corral it from Mohan and had to retrieve and gave Brewster the chance to execute a double steal, and they did so successfully.
It was right in front of him. He just didn't see it, unfortunately, for Wareham, and now things become a little bit more interesting for Connor Mohan.
At 2 in scoring position, a 2-2 count with 1 away, so no chance for the double play. 2-2. Up and away, count runs full with first base open, but the leadoff man, Adam Magpach, is on deck. Kiel on second had the RBI single that opened this game scoring. It's Brewster 1, Wareham 0 in the bottom of the second. Mohan from the windup, the 3-2 is grounded foul right side.
It seemed like it chopped off the foot of Torres. He's in some pain as he takes a walk around the left-handed batter's box.
Continues to kind of shake. Looks like got him on the right foot in the neon green and orange cleats, signifying his school. The center fielder from Miami. Outfield partners with Dylan Dubovic. Center fielder from Miami. Outfield partners with Dylan Dubovic. The right fielder for Wareham today. 3-2 is in the dirt, and ball 4.
For the fences on that pitch, a powerful swing for strike 1.
Yeah, but not a powerful hitter. 5'10", 170 pounds, but here's the 0-1, and it's popped foul into the netting, and Magpach shakes his head as he's behind 0-2.
And a real chance here for Mohan to get a strikeout or just get a ground ball on the infield. You can come home with it. A real chance here to limit damage.
His OPS last year just .664 with the Whitecaps. The 0-2 comes home. It's swung on and skied to center field. Hamilton drifts to the left center gap, comes in, makes the play, runner tag, throws, comes into third, and Brewster has a 2-0 lead. Adam Magpach does his job. Will Moore sprints in from 90 feet away, and the Whitecaps have a 2-0 lead after the sac fly. Magpach picks up the RBI.
Just what you want if you're the Whitecaps. A late to center field. Hamilton does a nice job of gloving it, throws over to third to prevent the runner Kiel from getting over there, and now you're just 1 out away from getting out of this inning.
2-0 Whitecaps lead. Jamie Laskoski digs in. He's 1 for 1 with a single today. Was 0 for 4 with a strikeout yesterday in the loss to Orleans. The CAA Player of the Year out of William and Mary. Heading to North Carolina next year, he swings at a first pitch and lifts it into left center field. Apple towards the gap, and the left fielder makes a head-high catch for the third out of the inning. But not before the Whitecaps open the game scoring and tack on some insurance from Adam Magpach. 2 hits, 2 runs, no errors in the field, and a couple of runners left on base for the Whitecaps. We're through 2 at Stony Brook Field, and Brewster has a 2-run lead on Wareham.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy! Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420.
The center fielder started in center on opening day at Katuitt. Batted ninth, and that loss to the Kettleers. Back in a identical spot today, both offensively and defensively. The 1-1. This is downstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wareham got plenty of production from its offense yesterday. It was a slow start, not just to the season, but to the game yesterday. But Wareham rallied for 7 runs and a 7-6 win over Chatham. 2-1 in the dirt, and the count now 3 balls, 1 strike to Hamilton.
And Wareham has not scored first in any of the 4 games so far this season. They've been coming from behind every single time and will have to do so once again here at Stony Brook Field.
Now Whitecaps 2 runs in the bottom of the second. Santi Garcia, the lefty, fires a 3-1 pitch, and it misses downstairs. And for the second straight inning, Garcia opens the frame with a base on balls.
Just can't get caught leading off of first now if you're R.J. Hamilton, because Levi Clark started off the second inning with a walk, but then he was picked off by the lefty, who has a nice move over to first base, so Hamilton has to be diligent over there.
Yeah, and Brewster just walked Hamilton, who was hitting ninth, and now you bring up Chris Ramirez, who's not a guy that's easy to get out. Right-handed second baseman from Cal Baptist, and he looks at a first pitch ball downstairs at 79 miles an hour. Count 1-0.
Ramirez, 3 hits in back-to-back games, looking to replicate here tonight.
And now a check on first, and you understand why Garcia wants to keep Hamilton honest. 29 stolen bases this past spring with Duke. None so far this summer, but absolutely a base-stealing threat. 1-0 is fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ramirez. Doesn't go down swinging very often. We saw him work deep into the at-bat to Garcia the first time around. Garcia threw 8 pitches to Ramirez. 1-1, and instead a check on first, and Hamilton back standing. Kraska receives from Garcia and goes right back to the mound with it. 1-1, still the count. Nobody out. Runner on first in the top of the third. Wareham trailing 2-0. Left on right. And another throw over to first. And Hamilton does not have a sizable lead. Takes about 1 step to his left, and he's back safely.
I'm really worried about him over there at first base. And understandably so. Got to watch out for that speed threat.
Now he takes off. Pitch high. Throw down is late. And Hamilton in safely. Looked like Jacob Lee had a little bit of trouble on the transfer from his mitt to his right hand. And listen, R.J. Hamilton already quick enough, but if Jacob Lee has to hesitate for even a split second, you're giving Hamilton the advantage that he needs to swipe it back. So 2-1 the count. Pitch was up and away, and now Ramirez, a base hit, can put Wareham on the board for the first time today. 2-1, grounded left side, just foul. Trying to sneak past the third baseman Moore, who was in pursuit towards the line, and Ramirez now in a 2-strike count. It's 2-2.
Just a nice job by Hamilton of winning that game of cat and mouse with Garcia. And Lee had trouble with the transfer, but Hamilton had a great jump on that. He was going to be in there all day long.
Ramirez grounded out to the third baseman his first time up. Hamilton not being held on at second. Now Laskowski dances over the second baseman. Garcia goes home. The pitch is swung on, grounded to the right side. Second baseman Laskowski fields, goes to first with it. It's in time. Hamilton advances to third. And there's now one out in the top of the third, but R.J. Hamilton, Wareham's first run, potentially is just 90 feet away.
And you can't be mad about that out if you're Chris Ramirez. It's a very productive out, number one. It forces a mound visit here from Brewster facing Foster Apple, who has the only hit so far in the game for Wareham. But once again, now if you're the Gatemen, you set yourself up. You have a runner at third with one down. You need a ball to the outfield here or a base hit to score the first run of this game. Very important that Foster Apple gets the job done.
Yeah, it's Brian Del Rosso, the pitching coach for Brewster, that comes out of the third base dugout, brings the entire infield in. Top of the third, Brewster leads 2-0 over Wareham. R.J. Hamilton, the leadoff man, who batted ninth in Ryan Smythe's lineup today, walked, stole second, moved to third off the ground out from the leadoff man, Chris Ramirez. And now Foster Apple with one away. And instead, Brewster makes a pitching change.
That's surprising.
So Santi Garcia doesn't go deep into this game at all. He departs with one away in the top of the third. And we'll get you the change when we return. Wareham with a runner on third and one away in the top of the third, right here on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Back at Stony Brook Field for the top of the third, and Brewster makes its first call to the pen. It's an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change, and Jamie Shevchik turns to the 6'3", 200-pound right-hander from Gonzaga, Finbar O'Brien.
Has pitched this season for Brewster. That was 2 innings against Hyannis in the opener that won them that game. 14 appearances this past college season with 8 starts, a 3-2 record. The ERA at about 7.3 and 47 innings pitched. This is a guy that they can put in there for length. Clearly didn't like something with Santi Garcia to get him out of here.
First pitch to Foster Apple is swung on, grounded to the third baseman. R.J. Hamilton stays put to throw the first in time. So 1 pitch, 1 out for the reliever Finbar O'Brien, and R.J. Hamilton, who was at third after stealing a base and being moved 90 more feet over to third after the ground out from Chris Ramirez, has to stay put. Foster Apple pulls it to the left side of the infield.
And Santi Garcia, 2 1/3 innings pitched with a hit, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He's responsible for Hamilton over at third base.
Now brings in Lincoln Garcia. First pitch, he takes it's inside for ball 1. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. So Hamilton has the speed if he wants to tag up, but after the first pitch out from Foster Apple, now there's 2 down. So 1-0 the count. The pitch to Garcia is inside for ball 2. O'Brien, a 3-pitch mix. Fastball, slider, changeup. At fastball, even split to righties and lefties. 92 miles an hour to 96. 2-0. Outer third, a called strike. Back to the fastball. Currently sitting more closer to that 92 mark. That one at 92 on the outside edge.
And it's a change of arm angle for the Gateman. He's more of a sinker baller, throws with that sidearm.
Yeah, first As Garcia pops it right side, and it's snagged by Kraska for the third out. Currently sitting more closer to that 92 mark, that one at 92 on the outside edge.
And it's a change of arm angle for the Gateman. He's more of a sinker baller, throws with that sidearm.
Yeah, first as Garcia pops it right side, and it's snagged by Kraska for the third out of the inning. It's Jacob Lee, Petey Kraska, and Jake Lambden. Couple of righties, bookend to lefty in the middle. The first baseman Kraska, but it starts with Lee, the catcher. The first pitch is cut on and missed. And the count 0-1 as Mohan dials up the changeup to open things in the home half of the third.
Well, and the interesting thing is, this middle of the order has not given Mohan that much trouble. He has retired this 3-4-5 coming up here in between the first and the second innings. What troubled him up was the bottom four for Brewster that all reached base last inning, with two of them scoring.
Now, one misses, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the order for the Whitecaps have done the damage. 2-0 Brewster leads. 1-1 out of the windup is crushed. Deep center field, Hamilton goes back. Apple comes in, and the left fielder makes the catch at the letters for the first out.
It's probably 15, 20 steps away from the wall back there in left field. Just got a little bit under that one if you're Jacob Lee, but some nice contact and a long fly out for out number 1.
So the third hitting catcher is 0 for 2 today, but now brings up the cleanup man from North Alabama, Petey Kraska. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Mohan got him swinging to end the first inning. Right on left, Mohan, a deep breath into his motion and the pitch. Fastball, inside corner, a called strike at 90 miles an hour. Defense playing Kraska straight up as the Gatemen try to keep the Brewster lead at 2 after the Whitecaps played it a pair in the bottom of the second. 0-1. This time goes outer third, another called strike, and another four-seamer at 90.
Two great pitches right there from Mohan. Try and put him away right here.
Mohan working quickly on the first base side of the rubber. He winds the 0-2. This time he goes breaking ball and it misses down and away. New ball put in play by the home plate umpire Brendan Murphy, and the count's 1-2. One down, the base is clear. Leadoff man in this inning, Jacob Lee, flew out to the left fielder, Foster Apple. 1-2 on the way. Grounded foul right side. Ricochets off the chain link fence. That wraps around from the Wareham dugout on the first base side in front of us behind home plate, and to the Whitecaps dugout on the third base side. Count still 1-2. Out of the wind, the pitch grounded foul right side and off the netting this time. Gatemen dugout. Count 1-2. Nice day here at Stony Brook Field. Wind blowing out. American flag in right center field. 1-2 is lifted. Right field, Dubovic drifts towards the line. He makes the grab for the second out. So a couple of flyouts to the corner outfielders here in the bottom of the third, but no damage done.
Letting his defense do the work, and that's what you want if you're Connor Mohan, doing a nice job of working through the middle of the order here. He has the 3 and 4 hitters today for Brewster at 0 for 4 and looking to go 0 for 6 against the 3-4-5.
Absolutely, and it's Jake Lambden, the shortstop from Duke. 5'10 senior. First pitch. It's popped. Behind home plate, out of play. 0-1, and mentioned it earlier, Lambden from Duke. R.J. Hamilton, the center fielder from Wareham, also from Duke. A couple of mainstays in the Blue Devils lineup. Lambden started all 59 games. Hamilton started 57 of the 59 as the 0-1 misses downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Whitecaps and Gatemen both at 1-2 this season, trying to get to 500. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and Lambden can't catch up, and he's behind 1-2.
Working really efficiency if you're Mohan, and just a pitch away from going 1-2-3.
Lambden 1 for 3 with an RBI yesterday. Came with 2 outs. With 1-2 and 2 away, he waves and misses at an elevated fastball, 92 miles an hour. and Connor Mohan has his third punch-out of the game. We're through 3. No hits, no runs, no errors in the field, and nobody left on base. Brewster has a 2-0 lead. Dan Shalam has you on the other side when the 4, 5, 6 hitters come to the plate for the Gatemen right here on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
Dan Chow with you alongside Adam Hipsky as we get you ready for the top half of the 4th with Wareham trailing Brewster 2-0. It'll be 4, 5, 6 coming up to the plate, starting with Dylan Dubovic, the right fielder. It's still Finbar O'Brien out there right now for Brewster. He came in the 3rd. Got the final 2 outs with R.J. Hamilton standing at first base after he worked a walk to start things off.
He did a great job out of the pen, relieving Santi Garcia with a runner on 3rd.
O'Brien's first pitch gets a big cut and a miss from Dylan Dubovic, who kick-started the offense for Wareham yesterday. Delivered a double, came around to score, was the first run of the Gatemen season. Chops at the 0-1 over to the right side. A tough play for Laskoski. He can't make it. It trickles into right, but then Dubovic goes too far over the base path, went in between first and second, skimpers back to the bag, and he has a leadoff single.
I think he thought that one had a little bit more momentum as it skipped past the glove of Laskoski, and then once it hit the outfield grass, that ball died quickly, and I think that was when Dubovic thought better. An aggressive turn around first, but then back to the bag in time.
So with the leadoff runner on for a second straight inning, it'll be Levi Clark, the first baseman, coming to the plate. Clark walked back in the second, but was picked off by Santi Garcia, who started this game off for Brewster. Officially ends his day with just 2 1/3 thrown, a hit, no runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. The first pitch from O'Brien is a ball. And for Levi Clark, just got here today, someone that Wareham fans know very well, batted .333 with the team. 25 hits last season, was an all-league selection at the end of the year. Takes the 1-0 on the outside part of the plate for strike 1.
Not a ton of pitches for O'Brien, but nice chance for Levi Clark to build back some of the momentum that he had after getting picked off.
The 1-1 misses outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The 6'1", 220-pound junior from Tennessee in the box. O'Brien set at the belt. Now fires. Misses at the bottom of the zone. Something that Wareham gains with O'Brien being on the mound. They no longer have Santi Garcia out there, who's a lefty. No risk at first to get picked off, which has troubled up the Gatemen a little bit in this game.
Yeah, he got Levi Clark, but he almost got Foster Apple. That one doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but almost did.
Clark smacks the ball over to shortstop. Some trouble there originally for Lambdita, but he gets it over to second, and it is an out. So the lead runner wiped off the board for the Gatemen. And now coming to the plate is Tony Lira with the runner at first and 1 down.
It was a tough play for the shortstop to make, and kind of took Laskoski off the bag for a brief moment, and then the second baseman got the foot down, and Dubovic certainly applied some pressure, but not enough of it.
So Lambden does a nice job over there at short on getting it over to second base, and Lira, the DH, in the box now. Takes a first pitch strike from O'Brien. Clark finds himself over at first for the second time in this game. Hopes not to get picked off over there once again after he was wiped off the board in the second. The pitch catches the outside part of the plate. Quickly 0-2 here on Tony Lira. The Big 12 all-freshman team selection about at .336 with Arizona looking to battle here in this count. O'Brien fires. Ball's rocked into the gap in right center. Cutting it off is Keel. So it's a one-out single for Tony Lira. Now base runners at first and second for the Gatemen with one down.
4 games and 4 hits for Tony Lira, 1 in each. He continues his hit streak. Now 4 consecutive games for the big righty from Arizona. And what a nice consistent presence he's been. And an early going for the Gatemen that's been overall inconsistent. He has provided a little bit of, like we said, consistency in this lineup.
Only Gateman player to have a hit in every game this season. It goes Wildcat to Wildcat. Nate Nowitzki, the lefty at the plate, takes a first pitch strike. Walked back in the second inning. And looking to make an impact here with a runner in scoring position. Gateman still without a run on the board in this game. The 0-1 catches the bottom part of the zone, and it's 0-2. Lira found himself in a similar spot, was in an 0-2 count, managed a single. Nowitzki looking to battle, just like his teammate from college did. O'Brien deals, and Nowitzki fouls it off to the third base side. 3 hits for Wareham in this game, 2 coming in this inning, 3 for Brewster. They've got 2 runs on the board. Gatemen once again chasing the game. They have not scored first in anyone so far this season. The 0-2 once again fouled off to the left side. Top half of the 4th. Finbar O'Brien has allowed every hitter to reach base. Dubovic was out at second on a fielder's choice by Clark. First and second, though, with 1 down. The 0-2 misses outside. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Nowitzki just trying to fight off a couple of 2-strike pitches.
Gateman desperately.
Yeah, advance the runners right now.
Searching.
Still 1 out.
1-2 is cut on and missed in the dirt for strike 3. A bad strikeout for Nate Nowitzki. There's 2 down.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you don't want in that situation, because with just 1 out, obviously you don't want to roll over on one and give Brewster a chance at a double play ball, but Nowitzki not even putting any pressure on a Brewster infield that has made no errors, but a couple of errant throws and a couple of errant plays. So similar to how we've viewed a lot of games this season, as all these teams are trying to mesh together, put some pressure on the defense.
Catcher Drew Rogers at the plate with first and second and 2 down. Takes a first pitch ball way outside.
And Wareham, that game against Katuitt, committed 4 errors and struck out 14 times. So what Katuitt did was put pressure, and Wareham didn't, and that was kind of the difference.
The 220 righty takes ball 2 in the dirt. Rogers, a slow start to the season, 7 trips to the plate, and is 0 for 7, has a strikeout in this game. That came back in the second, which ended the inning. Looking to make up for that here with first and second. Takes the 2-0 up high, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. R.J. Hamilton waits on deck if Rogers is to walk or reach base.
Brian did pretty well with command up until this at-bat.
3-0 offering. Misses inside. It ends up clipping Drew Rogers. It would have been a ball anyway. So the bases are loaded here for the Gatemen with 2 outs for R.J. Hamilton.
And that's one where if you're Drew Rogers and it's going to be ball 4, you don't really want to get hit by it, but lucky for him, kind of rode in at the hands. Looks to be okay, though. Scratching his arm a little bit, but not sure that's where really impacted him. So now the base is loaded, and a massive opportunity for R.J. Hamilton, who drew a walk his first time up.
Brewster had the bases loaded in the second. Now Wareham gets its opportunity. The first pitch with ducks on the pond is a called strike at the knees. And Hamilton walked in the third inning, made it all the way to third base. He led off that third, but just couldn't be brought home by this Wareham offense. Looking to do it himself and provide for his team. The 1-0 is bounced in front of the plate, gets away from Lee, coming home and making it in there is Dubovic. It's the first run of the game. Levi Clark, the scorer, and it's Wareham getting on the board on a pitch that got away from Lee. It's 2-1.
Yeah, I think they had the time. Jacob Lee had retrieved it pretty quickly. It bounced, and it bounced away, but it didn't bounce far, and Lee got it, but his toss to the pitcher that was covering the plate, O'Brien, was a little high, so Clark with the head first slide gets under the tag, and O'Brien a little bit late on the placement, and Wareham's on the board.
Wareham doesn't really care how it comes. They're on the board, and look at add more. Second and third with 2 down. Hamilton takes a strike. It's 1-2. Hamilton looking to provide, had an RBI last night when he was in the 2-hole. Oh, 1-2 pitch. Just misses the outside part of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 on and 2 down here in the top of the fourth. 1 already across for Wareham.
That was a close pitch, but Hamilton was confident that that was outside of the zone, immediately shook his head from the right-handed batter's box, knew he was going to get another chance at it.
O'Brien fires. Hamilton stays alive, fouls it off over to the Wareham dugout. Bounces off the screen, and we'll do it again at 2-2.
More pitches you see, the better. And with 2 outs, defense playing Hamilton straight up can hit to all sides of the field. So with 2 outs, runners on the move, once contact's made, chance for Wareham to really start to put the pressure on Brewster and maybe take the lead, but a 2-strike count.
Here's the pitch. Flown out into shallow right field, and making a nice play is Keel to end off the inning. So R.J. Hamilton denied of a pair of RBIs, but Wareham still gets on the board on a ball that bounced in front of the catcher Lee. Levi Clark comes home to score and makes things 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball here on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
2-1 ball game here in Brewster after Wareham gets on the board in that top half of the fourth. But still work to do for Connor Mohan, who's on the bump. Adam, he's really done a nice job outside of that second inning. Worked a 1-2-3 in the third.
Yeah, and it wasn't a ton of hard contact either. It was plays that his defense, well, they didn't go down in the field as errors, and they shouldn't have been. They were plays that the defense could have made. It was soft ground balls that the infielders got gloves on but trickled into the outfield. So Mohan's doing a nice job.
Dane Harvey at the dish, rocks a pitch into right field to start off the bottom of the fourth. It's a quick leadoff single for the designated hitter, who's 2 for 2 with the pair of singles tonight.
Man, I know I said not a ton of hard contacts, but yeah, Harvey got all of that one and luckily kept it at single bases because off the bat, Certainly looked like it had the potential, but Dubovic and Wright, a nice jump on it, and a base hit.
Will Moore, the third baseman, now at the plate, trying to do something here with the leadoff base runner. Walked in the second inning and made it all the way around to score. He was the second run of this game. First pitch, lays down the bunt over to the third base side. Ready for it is Nowitzki. He throws to first in plenty of time. The sacrifice is successful. Moving over to second is Dane Harvey, a runner into scoring position here for Brewster with one down.
Yeah, great job by Nowitzki, charging the ball from third. Took a couple of hops, gloves it cleanly, goes to first on the run, goes across his body, and nice play.
So with Harvey standing at second base, it's Terrence Keel the second. The right fielder singled in the second inning. That was his first hit of the Cape League season. That brought in a couple of runs. And looking to do the same here with Harvey standing at second base. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it into the mid of Rogers for strike one.
Keel, what a productive at-bat he had his first time up. Big reason for this Whitecap lead right now, and Brewster, the difference right now is the Whitecaps getting contributions from unlikely contributors.
Here's the 0-1. Misses at the bottom of the zone. There is an arm getting ready out there in the Wareham bullpen. Seems to be Aiden Kitchings. See when and if he enters this game. But for now, all Connor Mohan, who has only let up 2 runs so far, trying to work out of some trouble here in the bottom of the fourth. The 1-1. Chopped over to the left side, Garcia. Gloves, throws across the diamond. Makes it over there for the out. So after letting up the leadoff single to Dane Harvey, back-to-back outs for Connor Mohan.
Great job by Garcia to look Harvey back to second, keep him put right there, and Mohan, after the leadoff single, back-to-back guys, and now a chance against the ninth hitting Torres to get out with no damage.
Torres still without a hit on the young season, this being his third game. Walked back in the second inning, but definitely searching for a hit, and a hit would theoretically mean an RBI in this spot. First pitch chopped over to the Gatemen dugout for strike one.
Yeah, Harvey's big over there at second, 6'5", 270 pounds, but he runs well for his size. He runs really well, and Brewster knows it too. They were aggressive with him his first time on the base paths, so certainly can score from second with 2 outs.
The 0-1. Fouled straight back to the screen. Torres, the lefty, and at the plate, did not play yesterday for Brewster. The incoming junior from Miami, teammates with Dylan Dubovic out there in right field. Finds himself in a no-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs and a runner at second here in the bottom of the fourth. Mohan set at the belt. Comes set, now fires. The ball is flared out into shallow center. It dunks in. Coming around third is Harvey. He gets the wave home. There will be no throw. It is the first hit of the season. It's the first RBI for Michael Torres, and it makes things 3-1 Whitecaps.
Yeah, Harvey, a nice jump on it and a perfectly placed, not a hard hit ball at all. Soft contact, but with the right fielder Dubovic, the center fielder Hamilton, and the second baseman Ramirez, if you can imagine those 3 guys playing Torres straight up and you place the hit ball right in the middle of all 3 of them, that's where it was. It wasn't a close route for any of the 3 to get it, and an RBI.
Bermuda Triangle out there in right center field. Top of the order, Adam Magpock at the plate for Brewster with a runner at first and 2 down. Wareham puts a run on the board in the top half of the fourth. Brewster responds with 1 here in the bottom. The 1-0. Skied out into left field. Apple under it and makes the easy play for out number 3, but not before the Whitecaps respond with a run here in the bottom of the fourth. It's 3-1 Brewster as we go on to the 5th here on Cape League TV.
Hey Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
3-1 game at Stony Brook Field after Brewster responds with the run in that bottom half of the fourth. Each team with the run across in that fourth inning. The Gatemen look to respond, trailing by 2 once again in this game. Top of the order, starting with Chris Ramirez, still Finbar O'Brien on the bump, who plunks Ramirez in the head to start off the inning. That pitch ran in, got him square in the helmet. Ramirez seems to be okay, walking it off, and immediately head coach Ryan Smythe out of the dugout to talk with him.
Yeah, plunk is one word, but that was very hot and heavy at the head of Chris Ramirez. And for a guy that's in the transfer portal, you never want to be injured, but he seems to be okay. Checked in with the athletic trainer, checked in with the manager, and now walking to first base. Leadoff man on for the Gatemen, and I think Chris Ramirez would have much preferred a hit to start the inning, but first base nonetheless.
Instead of a hit, he gets hit. He'll be over at first base. Foster Apple at the plate. O'Brien fires the first pitch, and it gets by Lee. Ramirez is going to take off to second. That's a free 90 feet, and the Gatemen quickly have a runner into scoring position here in the fifth.
And so O'Brien starting to get a little wild on these pitches. First one misses badly and hits Ramirez in the helmet, and now the next pitch gets past the catcher and Jacob Lee.
The athletic training staff for Brewster was about to come out onto the mound. Looked like they were coming to look at O'Brien, but he shoos them back into the dugout, wanting to stay out there. Ramirez is at second base. The left fielder, Foster Apple, at the plate in a 1-ball, no-strike count with Wareham trailing things by 2.
Yeah, usually a velocity drop-off is a sign for someone being hurt. We'll monitor that.
Big cut and a miss for Apple. Makes it 1-ball and 1 strike. Had a single back in the first inning, but didn't go anywhere, was stuck over at first base. That first hit, though, very important for him. It was his first base knock of the 26 season. 1-1. Catches the top part of the zone. 1-2 to Foster Apple. The 6'1", 183 righty in the box. The Gatemen looking to take advantage of Ramirez being at second with nobody out. O'Brien comes set at the belt. Winds, kicks, deals. Pitch is put in play out into center field. Going back is Torres. He makes the play. Tagging over to third base is Ramirez. A long fly out into center field for out number 1, but a productive one at that. Ramirez goes over to third base, and now the second run for the Gatemen is just 90 feet away.
Yeah, nice job, nice contact, move the runner, one away, and Ramirez, after getting hit and then taking second on a wild pitch, takes third, and a nice job for Wareham to play a little small ball, work their guys around the base paths, and now the infield comes in trying to play against Lincoln Garcia and keep Ramirez over there at third.
That ball was into right or left, would have been out of here. Garcia takes the first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Wareham looking to knock in a runner here. Brewster brings the infield in to try and counteract that. Garcia did have an RBI last night, looking to replicate here in the top of the 5th. Rocks a pitch over to the shortstop, Lambden. He throws over to first in time. So now there's 2 outs on the board after Garcia grounds out to short. Bringing the infield in is a successful move for Brewster. And Dylan Dubovic will have to get it done with 2 outs.
Yeah, nice job by the shortstop. Infield came in, and Garcia made nice contact with it. So it came in at a nice velocity, smothers it on the backhand, and keeps it in front of him. Not just knocks it down, but gets up, corrals it, throws to first.
It was a nice play there. Dubovic cuts on the first pitch, grounds it over to second base. Laskowski, with plenty of time, makes the flip over to the bag. So Wareham had Ramirez over at second base, strands him there as he got to third. Can't capitalize on the runner into scoring position. Before we get to the bottom of the 5th, we're going to toss things over to our sideline reporter, CeCe Gabriel. CeCe, what do you got?
Well, thanks, Dan. Just yesterday, the Wareham Gatemen claimed their first win of the season against the Chatham Anglers. And when talking to manager Ryan Smythe, he had told me that it starts with a run, then the run leads to a win, and then the guys get more comfortable from there. He went on to express that getting on a roll is contagious, and he expressed it in 2 different sides. He says if you get used to losing, you'll lose a lot. But if you get more comfortable and enjoy wins, you win a lot. Now, in terms of the game, 4 out of 40, 3-1 Brewster. We'll see how this game goes. We're going to send things back out. Thanks, guys.
Certainly, CeCe, going to be interesting to see how the rest of this game does play out for the Gatemen. Adam, it was really a shame there that they couldn't take advantage of Chris Ramirez at second with no one out.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ramirez, who was pretty much gifted 2 free bases and not an ideal start whatsoever if you're Brewster, but a great job by O'Brien. Takes a look at the dugout as a couple of athletic trainers come out and offer to take a look at him, and he says, no, I'm fine, and then strands a runner at third with just 1 out. So a very nice job by O'Brien. It was a short leash for Santi Garcia, but nonetheless, Brewster keeps the lead at 2.
You speak of the leash, it's a new pitcher for Wareham. It's Alyssa Watling. Intuitive pitching change for the Gatemen here in the bottom half of the 5th. Connor Mohan out of the game after 4 innings of 2-run ball. Makes way, 3-run ball for Aiden Kitchings.
Yeah, the 6'5", 250-pound right-hander makes his Cape Cod debut. The sophomore from NC State made 14 appearances exclusively out of the bullpen for the Wolfpack down in Raleigh. Earned a 6.23 run average across 17 and a third innings of work. 14 hits, 12 runs, all 12 earned, 16 walks, and 23 strikeouts. A 4-pitch mix, fastball, slider, cutter, and a sinker. Throws the fastball about 40% of the time. It's a mid-90s fastball that he features, a 4-seamer that he likes to dial up, like we just said, 40% against this Brewster lineup.
First man he's going to face is Jamie Laskowski here to start off things in the 5th. 2-3-4 for Brewster after they put up a 0 in the top half. First pitch is a ball down low. Connor Mohan, the starter today for Wareham, leaves with 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned, as the 1-0's fouled out of play. 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. Most of the trouble came in that second inning. That's when 2 runs scored, and then gives up 1 in the 4th to end off his debut for Wareham here in 2026. The 1-1 misses upstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And that fastball has topped out at 98, sitting in the mid-90s right now. And Kitchings is certainly a velocity upgrade.
2-1, hit out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes against Laskowski.
And Mohan, nothing to scoff at. I mean, a guy that consistently sat in the low and started touching the mid-90s, but different with Kitchings.
Laskowski just gets a piece, fouls it back to the screen. Was the CAA Player of the Year with William and Mary this past season, batting .355, 72 hits, 45 runs batted in. All those numbers leading William and Mary, and for right reason. He gets the promotion, hops in the portal, and is headed to UNC next year. The Tar Heels currently playing College World Series ball out in Omaha. The 2-2, high and away. The count goes full.
And Tar Heels might be the favorites to win it right now. North Carolina, they've built One heck of a team.
Payoff. Chopped over to the right side and through the hole between first and second. It's a leadoff single for Jamie Laskowski. And the first hitter that Aiden Kitchings faces, he lets up a hit here in the bottom of the fifth.
And I think something to monitor with Aiden Kitchings throughout the summer is not getting behind batters, because when you look at his collegiate season, through a first pitch strike just 40% of the time and about 35% of the time to left-handed hitters. This Brewster lineup contains 1 switch hitter and 5 left-handed hitters. So making sure you don't fall behind in counts, giving a hitter's advantage to anyone in this Whitecaps order.
Faces the righty, Jacob Lee, and the first pitch is hit out into left field. That one's going to drop in front of Apple. Quickly gets it in, so everyone just goes station to station, first and second for the Whitecaps. And you mentioned the first pitch strike. That one was definitely a strike, and Lee got to the spot.
Oh, yeah, and I think Lee saw that Kitchings got behind in his first at-bat, and then Laskowski took advantage. Well, Lee felt the urgency from Kitchings, and then the first pitch pulls it into left for a base hit.
Petey Kraska steps in, the first baseman, hitting from the left side. Early trouble for Aiden Kitchings to deal with, has led up back-to-back singles to start off the bottom of the fifth. Kraska squared bunt for a second, pulls it back. A called strike. That's 0-1.
And mentioned the first pitch strike isn't great to left-handed hitters, but Kitchings is better against lefties than righties. Just a 182 opposing batting average this past spring against left-handed hitters.
0-1. Misses on the inside part of the plate.
Yeah, that's opposed to a 244. So 182 against lefties and 244 against right-handed hitters. So when you look at it that way, advantage Gatemen.
Big inning brewing for the Whitecaps. Kitchings looking to stop it. The pitch clips the outside part of the plate. It's 1-2. A nice job by Kitchings of battling back. Got ahead in this at-bat and looking to put it away now. Might go to the slider, uses it at 30%, or the fastball, which has me good at 41. Comes set at the belt. Now fires. Tried to work the outside part of the plate. Misses with the 92-mile-per-hour cutter.
Yesterday it was maybe not the best day from the Wareham bullpen. Got 2 good outings from Ty Stark and Braden Kersey, but Mark Barisi came in and struggled. Kitchings trying to avoid a repeat.
2-2. Misses inside, and the count goes full. Kitchings at risk of walking the bases loaded. Trying to work against Kraska, who's 0 for 2 tonight for the Whitecaps. A big pitch here in the bottom of the fifth. Kitchings deals. Gets a big swing and a miss. Kraska down on strikes. There's one down in the bottom of the fifth.
Big time pitch from Kitchings, and wasn't scared after giving up back-to-back singles, attacks the cleanup man and Kraska. Hasn't had a great day today, but still the numbers suggest that he can do damage. But right there, does a great job, and now one away.
Jake Lambden, the shortstop in. Still runners at first and second, one down. First pitch in the zone for strike one. Nice job of getting ahead right there. Back-to-back batters where Kitchings has gotten the first pitch strike. Lambden, 0 for 2. Looking for a bounce back here with the runner in scoring position. The pitch fouled away, and seems like Kitchings starting to find a groove here, up 0-2.
It's big for Kitchings because, just like any pitcher, getting behind won't do you any justice, but for a guy that's making his Cape debut, when you try to build confidence over the course of an entire season.
Runners on the go. Pitch is put in play, foul over to the left side. Brewster trying to put the hit and run on there, but Lambden just pulls it foul.
Yeah, they executed a double steal earlier successfully, and the hit and run this time around with one out, 2-run lead to play with, so certainly understand the aggressiveness from the Whitecaps manager.
Still an 0-2 count. Runners at first and second with one down. And now Kitchings just going to give a throw over to second. Wasn't a competitive one, but just wants to remind the runners, Laskowski and Lee, that he knows what's up. Now looks in, gets his sign from Drew Rogers. Winds and fires. Pitch is skied on the right side of the infield. Ramirez moves over to it. Infield fly was in effect, but an out regardless. 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, nice job by Ramirez. Sun has started to set on Stony Brook Field, but the glare in his eyes on the right side of the infield let it fall to his knees, but made the catch for the second out.
And that's the challenge of playing here at Stony Brook Field. The sun sets behind the third base dugout. A good amount of trees, so the sun not actually visible here at Stony Brook Field, so a lot of shadows getting into the field of play. With 2 outs, it's Dane Harvey, the DH, at the dish, and he is 2 for 2 today. Another check over on second base for Kitchings, just being mindful of Luskowski. But Harvey, 2 balls put in play for him, a couple of singles, and has come around to score each time. Looking to deliver for his team and bring Luskowski home here with 2 down. First pitch. Top of the zone, strike 1.
This would be big for Kitchings to get this out in your first inning of the summer after giving up a couple of hits. Some loud contact as well.
Back-to-back singles to start off the inning. And Harvey fouls this one away beyond the third base dugout. So just now 1 pitch away for Aiden Kitchings to get out of this inning unscathed after allowing the first 2 aboard. Runners are at first and second. 2 down. Kitchings set. Now deals. Went with the off speed, tried to get the chase in the dirt. Harvey lays off it, 1 and 2.
Yeah, a couple of pitches to play with after Kitchings gets ahead in the count. So certainly one to waste there as a guy out of the pen.
Harvey, a powerful bat, a menacing presence in the box at 6'5", 270 from the left-hand side. 1-2. Catches the outside part of the plate, strike 3. Kitchings puts up the backwards K on Dane Harvey, leaves 2 stranded here in the bottom half of the 5th. A beautiful job by Aiden Kitchings of working out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, no errors here in the bottom half of the 5th. Wareham puts up a 0. We head to the 6th. Brewster still leading things 3-1 here on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
We've hit the 6th inning here at Stony Brook Field. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky as the Brewster Whitecaps lead the Wareham Gatemen 3-1. It is 5-6-7 due up for the Gatemen. Here in the top half of the 6th, it'll start off with the first baseman, Levi Clark. Finbar O'Brien still out there on the bump for Brewster. First pitch fouled away behind the plate for strike 1. And a nice job, you got to talk about it. Aiden Kitchings in that bottom half of the 5th lets up back-to-back singles for the Gatemen, but retires the next 3 to get out of the inning.
Yeah, excellent job. And for a guy that makes your Cape League debut, a first impression is big, and that was a good one.
Clark fouls another pitch back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. against the man who just got here today for Wareham, this being his first game, but not his first game for the Gatemen overall. Played last season with a .333 average and 25 hits. Lays off the no-ball, two-strike pitch. Count goes to 1-2. Still looking for his first hit with the Gatemen in 2026, though. A walk reached on a fielder's choice in the fourth. 1-2. Misses outside. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two. Swung on and missed by Clark. He goes down for the first out here of this 6th inning, and Finbar O'Brien has really been settling well for these Brewster Whitecaps. 4 in a row retired.
Yeah, great job from him. And not to say that Santi Garcia didn't have a great start, but, you know, you come in an interesting spot with a runner on third and 1 out and, you know, got out of that jam. And since then, he's really been cruising.
And the one run that did score was because Lee couldn't block it in front of the plate. Lyra at the plate, grounds a ball over to second base. Lambden throws over to first in time. Lyra swings at the first pitch, and he's out on that as well. 2 down here in the top half of the 6th for Wareham. Nate Nowitzki will be next. The third baseman 0 for 1. O'Brien stepping onto the bump, ready to go, looking to cruise here, searching for his first 1-2-3 inning of his outing. First pitch, in there at the top of the zone, 4-strike-1. Nowitzki did have a single a couple of games ago in what was his debut for Wareham, but nothing here today. 0-1. Down at the knees. Count goes to 1-1. Wareham scoring its only run of the game back in the 4th inning, had the bases loaded, only able to squeeze 1 run out of it. O'Brien struggling with the control a little bit, bounces another one in the dirt. Count goes to 2-1. For Brewster, they scored 2 in that 2nd inning and then matched Wareham's run in the 4th with a run of their own. Leads us to a 3-1 scoreline here in the top half of the 6th. The 2-1 pitch, a big swing and a miss for Nowitzki, and now O'Brien just 1 pitch away from a 1-2-3 top half of the 6th. Nowitzki winds, fires. Just misses on the outside part of the plate. Thought he had strike 3. He does not. Count goes full. A strikeout, a ground out over to short so far in the top of the 6th for the Gatemen. The payoff. Strike 3 got him swinging. 2 Ks for O'Brien here in the top half of the 6th. He works efficiently. A 1-2-3 for him. And we head to the bottom half with the Whitecaps still up by 2 here on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
It's the bottom of the 6th here at Stony Brook Field. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. A 1-2-3 top half of the 6th. For Brewster, they did a nice job. Finbar O'Brien, strikeout. Ground out over short and another strikeout. It is still Aiden Kitchings on the bump. He came into the game back in the 5th. Led up back-to-back singles to start off the inning. but then strikeout, ground out, strikeout to get out of the jam and not leave anyone stranded on base. 7-8-9 coming up here for Brewster in the bottom half of the sixth. They look to pad a 2-run lead and get back to 500 on the season. Both these teams came in at 1-2. Someone's going to go to 1-3, and the other is going to get back to 500. And right now, that is the Brewster Whitecaps. Will Moore steps in, the third baseman, hitting from the left side. Moore ready to hit. Had a sac bunt in the fourth. Walk came around to score as the second run of the game in the second. Takes a first pitch strike. Kitchings deals. Pitch is fouled off to the third base side. Quickly 0-2. Oh-2, fouled off to the third base side. We'll do it again at no ball and 2 strikes. Moore, 0 for 4 in his last game. Did not play yesterday, but the day before for Brewster. Kitchings tries to paint the outside corner. He cannot. The count goes to 2-2. Kitchings set at the belt, fires, strike 3, gets a big punch out to start off this top half of the sixth. It is the first one of the inning, third overall, back-to-back Ks for Aiden Kitchings, 1 down here in the bottom of the sixth.
And how about that to start your Cape Cod debut? A guy that comes in, gives up a couple of hits since then, 4 up, 4 down with 3 strikeouts. Mixing and matching his pitches really well. Doesn't throw anything more than 40% of the time, and that's the fastball that sits in the mid-90s.
Terrence Keel at the plate. Lays off the first pitch for ball 1. Keel out in right field today. Got his first hit of the Cape League season back in the second. Drove in 2 runs, put Brewster up 2-0 at the time. The 1-0 pitch is a strike at the knees. It's 1-1.
Yeah, so no pitch that if you're a Brewster hitter you can really sit on. Fastball maybe, but it's so fast.
It's so fast, and that time Keel is fooled. Kitching slows him up. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2.
At 95 miles an hour, like we said earlier, can touch 98. We haven't seen it so far today, but has the potential.
1-2. Misses outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Terrence Keel the second. The right fielder out of Texas A&M who batted .260 with the Aggies this past season. Most impressive. He had a .400 on base percentage. 2-2. Cannot find the outside part of the plate, and the count goes full. Kitchings fires, strike 3, another swing and a miss by these Brewster hitters. That's 3 in a row for Aiden Kitchings. He is absolutely dealing right now. 2 down in the bottom of the sixth.
I mean, a guy that has settled in, and Aiden Kitchings certainly fits that mold. A guy that starts to get a little bit of a groove, and that's what you like to see, because a guy that gets knocked around, back-to-back base hits in your Cape Cod debut, it's easy to get down on yourself. But instead, he battles right back and attacks.
Michael Torres, the 9-hole hitter at the plate. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. Kitchings looking to get a 1-2-3 sixth. Has retired 5 straight Brewster hitters. Finding a groove here at Stony Brook Field. Bounces the 1-0. Torres, a single back in the fourth. A walk for him in the second inning. So has reached base in both trips to the plate tonight.
And this is the part of the order that did the damage for Brewster so far today. That's why it's built this 3-1 lead.
Torres, that single in the fourth was not just a single. Brought in a run on that as well. Made it 3-1 Brewster, and that's where we stand here in the bottom half of the sixth. Temperatures starting to drop here at Stony Brook Field into the high 60s. The pitch misses down low on the 3-0. That's a 4-pitch walk for Michael Torres. So the top of the order comes around for Brewster. Adam Magpok steps in with the runner at first, and 2 down.
You never want to really hit the number 9 hitter. Well, you don't want to, or you don't
want to hit anyone.
Yeah, you don't want to walk walk a batter at any time, but you definitely don't want to hit a 9-hitter with 2 outs. And as this, you mentioned the temperature is dropping. That coincides with the sun setting. And with no lights at Stony Brook Field, we better get a groove on if we want to get a full 9 in.
I think that 3-minute start is really starting to hurt us. A check over on first base. Nothing doing for Torres. No game has been called due to darkness here at Stony Brook Field so far this season. If this one is to be that, it would be the first. Another check on Torres. Not going anywhere. There was one game that ended in darkness yesterday. That was at Katuitt. Lowell Park got a little bit too dark. Another field without lights. The lights are the umpire's discretion. Another check on first. Nothing doing with Torres. If the umpires deem it to be too dark out, they will stop the game, but it is simply up to them. No other person or body at the Whitecaps can make that decision. First pitch to Magpok misses for ball 1.
Try and work around it here in the 6th. 2-out walk. Definitely don't want to let Brewster string together some momentum.
That's a 3. Looks over at first base on Torres. Kitchings doesn't want him to go anywhere.
Torres has the speed, but not as much as what Magpok has right here. You definitely want to retire this guy and not let it get any further down the line.
Here's the pitch. Misses down low. 2 balls and no strikes. It was a 4-pitch walk to Michael Torres. So after the 2 strikeouts to start off this inning, 6 straight balls dealt from Aiden Kitchings, and for that reason, Drew Rogers goes to talk with the reliever on the bump.
Yeah, no harm, no foul. Just walk out, get things under control. You're still just down in this count 2-0. You certainly haven't lost this battle with Magpok quite yet. So a guy that hasn't recorded a hit today, walked his first time up. Just settle down, make him earn it, and you have a strong defense.
2 balls, no strikes. Runner on first with 2 down. Kitchings fires and finds the top of the zone for strike 1. The 2-1 pitch. Runner on the move. Throw from Rogers is perfectly on the money, and he gets him stealing. Torres is nabbed. What a play by Drew Rogers behind the dish to end off things in the bottom of the 6th. So Kitchings faces the minimum here in the bottom half of the 6th and keeps this a 3-1 ball game as we head to the 7th at Stony Brook Field here on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Back at Stony Brook Field for the top of the 7th, Brewster leads Wareham 3-1. And it's an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change for the Whitecaps. Finbar O'Brien's day is done. He departs after 3 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, no walks, 3 strikeouts, and he gives way to the right-hander from Texas A&M, Johnny Nuanez.
Let's tell you all about Johnny Nuanez. He is entering his senior year from San Diego, California. Pitched in the opener against Hyannis, 2 innings in that one, 2 earned runs, led up 4 overall. This past season, though, at Wichita State, he just entered the portal and then got out to go to the Aggies. 13 appearances, 12 games started, a 6-2 record, team-high 6 wins, with a team-high 2.56 ERA and 56 1/3 innings pitched.
Set to face the 8-9-1 hitters, a trio of righties. It starts with Drew Rogers. The first pitch misses down and in. Rogers trying to carry some defensive momentum to the offensive side, a guy that has struggled at the plate early on in 2026. Steps in the right side, facing Nuanez. Out of the windup, the 1-0. This is outside. 2 balls, no strikes. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Just misses the zone.
But that was a bullet of a throw by Drew Rogers. Caught it, got it there in plenty of time where there was no doubt in the umpire's mind. Let's call him out on Torres. Just a beautiful play by Drew Rogers.
2-0. The pitch is outside. 3 balls, no strikes, and Rogers has watched a few go by him. Not have grazed the zone, and he's ahead 3-0. The pitch is inside. 4-pitch walk to the number 8 hitter for the Gatemen, and the leadoff man is aboard. So Drew Rogers is 0 for 1 today, but he's on base for the second time this evening.
Just what you want to see if you're Drew Rogers. Make the nice defensive assist, get your team off the field in the bottom half, and then start things off. And now Wareham has a base runner to play with. Speedy R.J. Hamilton at the plate. Maybe this is a bunt situation. Could get a little bit creative here.
Hamilton 0 for 1 today. Walked in the second, flew out in the fourth. With a runner on first, out of the stretch. The pitch from Nuanez is outside. 5 consecutive pitches that have missed the zone for the reliever. 4-pitch mix for the right-hander. Rising senior. Fastball, cutter, slider, and a changeup. 1-0, trying to find the zone. And he locates it this time at the knees. A called strike, 89-mile-an-hour cutter. And the count's 1-1. Hamilton started the game in center field after Chris Ramirez was hit by a pitch. Hamilton took his place defensively, moved to second. Jason Wax into center field. And now still batting ninth, the 1-1. He takes, it's inside. The right call, Hamilton back ahead in the count, 2-1.
It's interesting. We really haven't seen Wareham play any type of small ball so far this season. They haven't laid down a bunt. And Hamilton be the perfect guy to do it. Lee trots out to the mound to discuss things with Nuanez. They're clearly not on the same page. Just 1 strike thrown in 7 pitches so far.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it warrants a visit out of the Brewster dugout located on the third base side, and it's Brian Del Rosso, an assistant coach at Keystone College, and Keystone Dan plays a big part in this ball game today between the Gatemen and the Whitecaps.
It's not just on the Brewster side of things. Like you mentioned, head coach for Brewster, Jamie Shevchik, the head coach at Keystone, the head coach for Wareham, Ryan Smythe. Those two have coached together, obviously, at Keystone. They've also coached here together at Brewster before Smythe made the jump over to Wareham.
So a couple of friendly and familiar faces. We've seen the two chatting it up before the game, and when they exchanged lineups, Shevchik and Smythe obviously go way back.
It's also third base coach Nate Ewing as well for Wareham, who played at Keystone and is now an assistant there. So this might be Wareham Brewster, but it's really got Keystone baseball written all over it.
Absolutely. Mound visit breaks. The hill belongs to Johnny Nuanez, the right-hander from Texas A&M, trying to find the zone, but before he delivers home, he goes to first, checks on Drew Rogers, who's in there safely to the back of the bag with a head-first slide. Gets the gray pants dirty with brown dirt. Count 2-1. Pitch. Called strike. Dots the outside edge, and Nuanez even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anticipation starting to build as the sun has set at Stony Brook Field. Left side of the infield completely shaded, and most of the outfield as well. The 2-2. Hit on the ground, left side, a chance for 2. Lambden goes to first for 1. Hamilton beats out the throw. So it looked like a chance for the Whitecaps to spin a double play, but instead Wareham has 2 on and no out in the top of the 7th.
That play was just a little bit weird for this defense on the Brewster side of things. Originally, the third baseman Moore charged the ball, but then at the last second, Lambden called him off, gloved it himself. Moore had to get out of the way, and that little kerfuffle between the two allowed enough time for Hamilton to get down the line to first.
Yeah, so it's to Jason Wax now in place of Chris Ramirez. Lays down a bunt, right side, a well-placed one. Lee Fields goes to first for 1, and it's in time. So Jason Wax, who hasn't had the start to 2026 in terms of hits, still hitless so far this summer, but this time he does his job. Hamilton and Rogers move up 90 feet, and now a couple in scoring position. The tying run in scoring position at second base with R.J. Hamilton and Foster Apple coming to the plate.
Well, you and I were just talking about it. Wareham had not put down a bunt this season, and then Wax coming into the game as Hamilton shifts over to second base, does a nice job, puts it right in front of the catcher Lee, and now a real chance for Apple to do some damage.
And Lee throws his hands up. Quick break in the action. Looks like Foster Apple called for time, stared down third base line. Took a peek at third base coach Nate Ewan. Set to go. Nuanez fires. Hit on the ground, right side, fair ball. That's trouble. Extra bases. 1 run is in. Rogers crosses. Hamilton gets the wave. He's in. The throw comes into second. Ahead for a slide. Not in time. A 2-run, 1-out double and extra bases for Foster Apple. His first extra base hit of the season. And we're tied in the top of the 7th. It's 3-3. Gatemen with a big hit, and it comes off the bat of Apple.
Doesn't get much better than that if you're the Gatemen and Foster Apple. He finally breaks the streak. He had 1 hit earlier in the first, but gets his first extra base hit of the summer and just hits it straight down the right field line. That ball was just a few feet from the first base bag. Does a nice job tucking it in there, and it scores 2.
And still a runner in scoring position. Now the go-ahead with Lincoln Garcia, the right-handed hitter, steps to the plate. He swings and misses at a first-pitch breaking ball. It's 0-1 in the top of the 7th, but a chance for a base hit. Foster Apple, plenty of speed to score at second. The 0-1, Nuanez. It's lifted into right center field. Torres back at the track. It holds up, it makes the catch, and Apple tags from third. He's in without a throw. So Garcia advances the runner. He's 0 for 4 today. But now with 2 down, it's Dylan Dubovic, who has 2 hits in 2 of the 3 games so far this summer, and he's got 1 today, a chance to make it multiple hits in 3 of the 4 games.
Just needs a base hit, and he had a double yesterday that came up in a big way for Wareham. Really this inning, though, all ties back to Jason Wax laying that bunt. Wareham playing the small ball, it rewards them.
First pitch, chopped. Left side, if it's fair, it could be trouble, and instead, it is a fair ball. Dubovic thought it was foul. He stayed put in the right-handed batter's box.
He thought it hit off the plate and was a foul ball.
Yeah, so Ryan Smythe out from the first base dugout. He shakes his head in displeasure. And for now, the time being, that's the 3rd out. But Wareham gets 2 back. It's time to stretch at Stony Brook Field. We're tied, Whitecaps and Gatemen, knotted at 3, right here on Cape League TV.
Hey Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A-Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-23 2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Back here at Stony Brook Field, and it's another Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change for the Gatemen. So after Connor Mohan gets the start and gives way to Aiden Kitchings, it's the second call to the pen for fourth-year skipper Ryan Smythe. And it's Finn Edwards, and for more on Finn Edwards, Dan Shalam, what do you got?
I got you there, Adam. 6'7", 210 righty from Bend, Oregon, out of Arizona State. Previously went to Iowa Western Communities. 6.59 ERA in 18 appearances this past season, 13 2/3 innings pitched. He's the only pitcher to come into the game that we have seen so far this season for Wareham. Appeared against Hyannis in the second game of the season, pitched a clean ninth inning with a walk and 2 strikeouts.
It's time for Finn Edwards, selected in the 18th round of the 2025 MLB draft by the Los Angeles Dodgers, and now back out on the mound. Set to face the top of the Brewster order rather. Right on left to Adam Magpock. First pitch is outside for ball 1. It's really just 2 pitches for Finn Edwards. Fastball nearly 70% of the time, and slider just above 30%. Edwards working the first base side of the rubber. He deals, and it's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Edwards to Magpock, who's 0 for 2 today and was at the plate in the 6th inning before Michael Torres tried to steal second. Rogers threw him out. 2-0. Sails over the mitt of Rogers off the chain link fence as the backstop, and it's 3 balls and no strikes now to Magpock. And for a guy that has a smaller strike zone, a very big height difference between these two. Edwards 6'7", Magpock just 5'10". 3-0. Called strike at the knees, and Magpock.
He's got to get back in that box.
Yeah, he tossed his bat down the third base side towards the Brewster dugout. He immediately taps his chest to home plate umpire Brendan Murphy, saying, "That's my bad."
That was a clear strike at the bottom of the zone. No question about that one.
Yeah, 3 balls, 1 strike to count. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom 7. Edwards fires. Hit on the ground, right side, right to the first baseman Clark, who gloves, takes it to first, and it's in time to retire Magpock. So 3 balls, no strikes on Magpock, and he looks at strike 1, and then a ground out, 3 unassisted to start things in the home half of the 7th and a tied game.
Really nice job by this Wareham bullpen. We talked about it a little bit in the pregame show. This is now 7 batters in a row retired. Obviously, that stems from Aiden Kitchings, who leaves the game with 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs given up, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. But nice to see Finn Edwards carrying the torch here in the 7th.
At Kitchings, 41 pitches, 24 were for strikes. First pitch to Jamie Laskowski. On the outer edge, it's a called strike, 0-1, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. We just talked about it. Heavy dosage of the four-seamer from Finn Edwards. Trying to battle against Laskowski, the second baseman headed to North Carolina out of the transfer portal. Right now in an 0-1 count. This one paints the outside edge, and it's 0-2. So Edwards was behind 3 balls and no strikes to the leadoff man, Magpock, and now is ahead 0-2, hoping for a similar result as the previous batter. The 0-2 is popped up left side, curling foul. It's out of plays into the trees past the Brewster team store beyond the grandstands on the third base side. It's 0-2 here at Stony Brook Field. Sun continues to set, trying to play with as much daylight as we can. No lights here at Brewster. The 0-2, breaking ball, and it's outside. 1-2 the count. Laskowski was 0 for 4 yesterday, but has bounced back in a big way today. The CAA Player of the Year is 2 for 3 with a couple of base knocks. Edwards still ahead in the count. 1-2. He delivers, and it spikes in the dirt. That time he goes slider and spikes off the chest of Rogers. Even count, 2-2.
Just battling in this count if you're Edwards. Have thrown some stuff you like, some waste pitches. Time to go after him.
One gone, bottom of the 7th. Tied at 3. The pitch. Fly ball, right field. Dubovic drifts back. He settles under it and makes a shoulder-high catch for the second out of the inning. 2 down in the 7th.
And this Wareham bullpen now on the verge of 3 straight scoreless innings after letting up a run in the 4th, and that was off the starter Connor Mohan. So it's really been a fantastic job by Kitchings, and now Edwards working efficiently here in the 7th.
Games 2 and 3 for the Gatemen. The starter did not reach the 5th inning. Logan Hastings yesterday got into the 4th after Wade Walton just went 3 innings on Sunday. First pitch to Jacob Lee is swung on, sky high, hooking right and out of play. Just past the first base dugout where the Gatemen occupy, and it's strike 1 to Lee, who is 1 for 3 today. Struck out in the 1st, flew out to lead things off in the 3rd, and singled his last time up in the 5th. He's behind 0-1 to Edwards, facing him for the first time. And the pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. Lee, plenty of power in this bat in a tied game, 3-3 after the Gatemen plated 2 in the top half of the 7th. Edwards, the pitch. There's the power. Deep center field. Wax goes back. He's at the track. It's gone. Subtle foreshadowing for Jacob Lee. 17-plus home runs in his first 2 seasons at VCU, and this one gives the Whitecaps the lead. In the bottom of the 7th, it's 4-3 Brewster after the solo shot to deep center field for the catcher from Virginia Commonwealth.
That ball was crushed, and just to the center of the park. There was nowhere for Wax to go. Just a shot into deep center field.
Jacob Lee, the only guy in VCU history to hit 17 or more home runs in each of his first 2 seasons, and we knew the power was there. Chance for the go-ahead home run, and he delivers. Now the first pitch to Petey Kraska is outside for ball 1. Wareham trying to keep it at just this 1-run deficit after the solo shot from Jacob Lee. That pitch is swung on, and it drops in front of Apple and left for a base hit. So Finn Edwards goes 2 up, 2 down to start his relief outing, and since then, Whitecaps starting to get to him.
And it's unfortunate that Kitchens' pitch count was so high at 41 because he was really doing a great job out there. On the bump, 2 innings of clean ball, and I'd retired 6 Whitecaps in a row, and Edwards not having the same success after getting the first 2 hitters.
Yeah, got deep into plenty of counts, and that's why he threw 41 pitches across just 2 innings. First pitch to Jake Lambden is a called ball. For Kitchings, just 1 walk, though. So got deep into counts as the one who comes home, and it misses downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Got deep into plenty of counts, but worked around it. Just 1 free pass and 4 strikeouts. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 gone. Bottom of the 7th. Runner on first. Edwards sets up and fires. Fly ball, deep right field. Dubovic takes a step towards the gap and makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. 2-out solo shot from Jacob Lee, the difference in the ballgame so far. It's 4-3 Brewster as we turn it to the 8th inning. It's Levi Clark, Tony Lira, and Nate Nowitzki due up for the Gatemen when we return on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights. Be prepared and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Back at Stony Brook Field for the top of the 8th, and the Whitecaps make another call to the pen. It's an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change for Brewster. So Johnny Nuanez's day is done, and Jamie Shevchik moves it to the right-hander from Arkansas, Jordan Martin.
And there's a reason why they went with Martin. Has played in one game so far for the Whitecaps this season. That was against Falmouth a couple days ago, and an inning of clean work.
First pitch to Levi Clark is swung on and skied to right field. Keel towards the alley, and he makes the grab for the first out of the inning.
And high leverage guy only let up one hit in that, a pair of strikeouts at Arkansas, only appeared in 3 games, tossed 3 innings, no earned runs, so really looking to get that extended amount of experience here on the Cape.
Yeah, just 2 pitches for Martin. It's fastball and a slider as Tony Lira strides into the right-handed batter's box. Right on right, the first pitch in the top of the 8th is inside. Ball 1. So Johnny Nuanez's day is done. In his second appearance this summer, he goes just 1 inning, gives up 2 hits, 2 runs. Both were earned. 1-0 is inside, and Lira had 2 balls, no strikes. So 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, no strikeouts. And it was a Wareham offense that was struggling, and then Nuanez entered into the game, and Wareham did a little bit of damage. Tied it up at 3 as 2-0 comes in. Swung on and missed. It was the slider at 80. Inner third, Lira can't make contact. It's 2-1. And for the Gatemen, couldn't do a ton of damage against the starter Garcia. O'Brien had their number as well. 2-0 inside. 2-1 rather. And Lira works the count to 3 balls, 1 strike. And for Nuanez, not his best stuff. Not his best day, but he still leaves after Brewster has a 4-3 lead. Lira fouls the pitch back. Count works full with 1 gone and the base is clear.
So it makes sense why Nuanez immediately out of the game. Wareham was clearly seeing it well against him. And another guy for Brewster that has pitched this season and was pitching in that game that Brewster lost a couple of days ago, as they've lost back-to-back, but still had a clean inning of work.
The payoff to Lira is hit on the ground, left side, fielded by the shortstop Lambden, throws to first, it sails over the head of Kraske, and instead, is it out of play? And it is, so Jacob Lee, the catcher, had sprinted down the line to try and prevent extra bases, but instead it gets stuck in the Gateman dugout, and Lira takes second on the errant throw.
And he had time there. Lambden did. Was throwing on the run, though, so just skies it a little bit over the head of Kraske. It bounced up against the gate on the dugout of the Gatemen, but gets in there enough where the umpires called a dead ball.
Brings in the left-handed third baseman Nate Nowitzki, who looks at a first pitch slider, dots the outside corner, a called strike. So Wareham, after giving up the solo shot in the bottom of the 7th, goes down 4-3. Now a base hit can tie things up once again. 0-1 on Nowitzki with one away and a runner on second. The pitch is outside. It's another slider. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you think about the way this game is going, the light outside. This could be Wareham's last chance here to tie up this game.
1-1 with one away. The pitch popped left side into the netting and out of play. 1-2 the count, 1 down. The only left-handed hitter in this Wareham lineup, facing the right-handed reliever out of Arkansas, Jordan Martin. We saw Mark Brissy, the right-handed reliever for Wareham yesterday out of Arkansas, struggled. Wareham trying to do damage to his teammate Jordan Martin here in the top of the 8th. The 1-2, fouled out of play. Nice job by Nowitzki. He chased, no doubt about it. It was in the left-handed batter's box, or the right-handed batter's box rather, but he stays alive, and a 2-strike count fights it off. And we're going to have a pinch runner for Wareham. So after Tony Lira reaches base, Cade Elam comes in to replace the designated hitter. So don't have to worry about Lira's place in the field defensively. I think Ryan Smythe feels it. It's the 8th inning. There's 1 out. Chance for Wareham to do some damage. The pitch, fastball up and away, and it's called a ball.
And Elam provides more speed than Lira out there between the base pass, so totally understandable move there from Ryan Smythe.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Nowitzki loaded up, but he holds a swing. It's the right call. It runs full. 92-mile-an-hour fastball at the belt, outside. Still 1 away. Nowitzki 0 for 2 today. He walked in the second, and he struck out each of his last 2 times up. Once in the 4th, once in the 6th. Here in the 8th, the payoff is outside. It's ball 4, and Wareham has the go-ahead run on the base paths in the top of the 8th, trailing 4-3.
And it's really just putting pressure on Jordan Martin. This is not a guy who's been in very many scenarios like this. Only pitched 3 innings at Arkansas. Did not give up a run there either. And he didn't give up a run against Falmouth a couple of days ago. So really Wareham with the chance here to put on the pressure. The catcher, Drew Rogers, with a chance to do it.
And what a chance for Drew Rogers to break through. He's 0 for 1, but he's reached twice today. First pitch, it's a half swing, but he offered at it. He chased down and away, and the count's 0-1. Rogers still in search of that first hit this summer. He's 0 for 8 in 2026, back with the Gatemen for the 2nd consecutive summer. 0-1 with 2 on and 1 away. Top of the 8th, the pitch from Martin. Is a called strike. Inner third. Rogers is behind 0-2 with 1 down.
R.J. Hamilton on deck. He's been seeing the ball well today, but you really, really want to pick me up here for Drew Rogers.
1 out, trying to move the runners. The pitch inside, and he takes. Works the count to 1-2. Brewster has held a lead for a vast majority of this game. The Gatemen tied it up at 3 in the top of the 7th, but the Whitecaps responded right back in the bottom with a solo shot. The 1-2. Called strike 3. Rings up Drew Rogers, and the slow start for the summer continues. Now 0 for 9 in 2026. There's 2 down, and that was a massive out from the reliever Jordan Martin.
No doubt about it. Huge with runners at first and second and just 1 out. Wareham could have moved up Cade Elam. He's been standing there now for a while, and R.J. Hamilton is the last hope to bring him home.
Cade Elam, the pinch runner, after Tony Lira reached on an error. First pitch to R.J. Hamilton is cut on and missed. 0-1. Tony Lira, the designated hitter, reached on an error from the shortstop Jacob Lambden. It was his first of the summer. Moved over to second. Nate Nowitzki at first. He walked. The 0-1. And Rogers playing a game of twister. Swings through it, misses. Put his left hand to the dirt as he waved at the offering. He's behind 0-2 with 2 away.
Unfortunate one. Was just trying to get out of the pit, out of the way of the pitch. Still breaks the plane with the bat.
So Now Hamilton goes in to the protection mode. 0-2, 2 away. The pitch. Called strike 3. Back-to-back backwards Ks for Jordan Martin out of the pen. So for Wareham, it's no hits, no runs, 1 error in the field for the Whitecaps, and 2 runners left on base for the Gatemen. We're through 7.5 from Stony Brook Field, and it's Brewster with a 4-3 lead on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy! Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
Back at Stony Brook Field for the bottom of the 8th, Brewster in search of its first win in front of the home crowd, and they're trying to pad its 4-3 lead. But to do so, they'll have to do it against a new arm. It's an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change for the Gatemen, and it's Andrew Koshi relieving the reliever, Finn Edwards.
Makes sense why the Gatemen are going through the bullpen. Day off tomorrow, so use all the arms today against Brewster. Koshi, the 6'2", 205 righty out of Albertson, New York, went to Maryland this past season, and in that time with the Terps, a 5.84 ERA over 25 appearances, 44 2/3 innings pitched. Has pitched this season for Wareham, an inning against Katuitt, where he did not let up a run, a hit with 2 walks and a strikeout.
He'll face the 6, 7, 8 hitters. It's 2 lefties and a righty. Starts with Dane Harvey. Following is Will Moore and Terrence Keel the second. Dane Harvey is 2 for 3 today with a couple of singles, both of which he scored on. Responsible for 2 of the 4 runs that the Whitecaps have earned. It's been enough for a 4-3 lead.
Koshi trying to hold this game. He's very familiar with this park. Played with Brewster 2 summers ago.
So it's right on left to start things in the bottom of the 8th. Brewster 4, Wareham 3. From the windup, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 90 miles an hour. Pretty much a 3-pitch mix. Fastball, sinker, slider from Koshi. Also, occasionally will mix in some variety of a changeup sweeper, and he has a curveball in his repertoire as well. The 0-1. Fastball, outer third, called strike, 0-2.
It's a nice job just jumping ahead on a hitter that has caused problems today for Wareham and Dane Harvey.
Harvey named to the second team out of the Big Ten Conference. The DH today from Ohio State. The pitch is outside, 1-2, 76-mile-an-hour slider. And Koshi tried to deliver right there, have it bend in from right-handed batter's box to the outside corner, but doesn't get quite the break he's looking for. The 1-2 comes home. Called strike 3. Rogers up. He throws down to third. He knew it the whole way, and Harvey is rung up. It's his second straight backwards K, and that's how Andrew Koshi begins his second appearance of the summer in the bottom of the 8th.
Harvey talking to himself as he walks back to the dugout. Not happy, but I'll tell you one thing. All 3 of those strikes in that at-bat were in the zone. So just a nice job of working on the outside part of the plate for Andrew Koshi to get out number 1.
And Will Moore up to bat now. His first pitch that he sees is outside, ball 1. Moore with a major regression this past year as a sophomore at Indiana. Batted .328 as a freshman, down to .260 with the Hoosiers this past spring. The 1-0 is popped up behind our heads and out of play. Diamond side slanted down the third base line. Count now 1-1. Moore struggling a bit. 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts yesterday. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout today, and he looks at ball 2. It comes in as a fastball downstairs. And Moore, the slight advantage at 2 balls, 1 strike.
Koshi in control. Couple of balls on the outside part of the plate, but they have been good misses for him.
2-1 the count, 1 away, the base is clear. Koshi winds and fires, swing and a miss. Fastball and a healthy hack from Moore. We're level at 2 apiece.
And it is interesting, too. Koshi coming into this inning and facing 2 lefties straight off the jump. You would think that they would have the advantage, but Koshi's been in control.
Koshi trying to hold this game in a 1-run deficit. 2-2. Popped foul into the netting behind home plate. Fights off 1-2 strike pitch. Trying to straighten it out. Give Brewster a 1-out base runner in the bottom of the 8th. 4-3 Whitecaps lead it. Trying to pad their advantage. Haven't won at Stony Brook Field so far this summer. The 2-2. It's outside, ball 3.
Koshi nodding his head after that miss. He knows he just missed it in the righty's batter's box and trying to do everything in his power to keep this a 1-run game.
Payoff forthcoming. Bases clear. Koshi set at the belt. Kicks, deals. Hit up the middle. Could be trouble. Whacks into the gap, and he can't make the play. 1-out base hit and a full count from Will Moore. And a very nice piece of hitting for the third baseman from Indiana. Whitecaps lead at 4-3, bottom of the 8th.
Just did a nice job of lining that ball into the gap between left and center field. Got nice wood on it, drops in front of Wax, and now a guy who has started to find it at the beginning of the day steps to the plate.
Terrence Keel, an RBI single in the second that opened this game scoring. Right on right, Koshi from the stretch. The pitch. Slider bends in at the knees, a called strike, 0-1.
And he finally gets the hitting advantage now against the righty in Keel after facing 2 lefties to start.
0-1 the count. Koshi nods and pitches. Another called strike, 0-2 on Keel. So Finn Edwards has gone just 1 inning in each of his 2 appearances this summer for the Gatemen. Got the 9th against Hyannis the other day. Quick check over on first. Will Moore back safely. So Edwards' day is done. Goes 1 inning, gives up 2 hits, 1 run. It was all from the solo shot off the bat of Jacob Lee. No walks, no strikeouts. Pitch to Keel, hit on the ground left side. Nowitzki a chance for 2. He goes to second for 1. Hamilton the relay, the throw to first, not in time. Keel hustled out of the box and beat it out. But nonetheless, Nowitzki cuts down the lead runner, and there's 2 away in the bottom of the 8th.
Didn't really have a real chance there on Keel. He's a very speedy guy. It was a slow ground ball over to Nowitzki. Gets it to second in plenty of time, but Keel just a couple steps ahead over at first.
And so Brewster certainly with an upgrade of speed on the base paths with Keel, but I think Wareham willing to take that trade to get that second out. Gatemen down to their final 3 outs. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Brewster leads at 4-3. Brings up Michael Torres, the 9th hitting center fielder. First pitch. Misses downstairs. Slider, and it's 1-0.
Koshi just needing 1 more out here to get out of this inning, and it certainly would be a big one to keep this at 1-run scoreline.
Keel, a sizable advantage off of first. Koshi goes home. The pitch, called strike. Koshi goes fastball and locates the zone. It's 1-1.
And Keel faked the steal there. He kind of jumped into his secondary a little bit before Koshi lifted that leg, but ended up staying at first. And
now the check on first, and not an accurate throw by Koshi, but not sure if Keel had the lead that time to truly pick off the base runner. The count still at 1-1. Clark holding on Keel at first. Clark making his Wareham debut this summer, 1-1 outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Torres hitting 9th, but he's 1 for 1 today, drawn a couple of walks. He was caught stealing, but also with an RBI back in the 5th inning. Koshi another check. Keel back safely. Brewster opened the game's scoring in the bottom of the 2nd with 2. Wareham responded with 1 in the top of the 4th. Brewster got it right back. Gatemen with 2 in the top of the 7th. To tie the game, Whitecaps got the lead right back. Runner on the move, the pitch swung on and missed. Gets past Rogers, and he slides and corrals, but Keel takes second without a throw.
And you knew Keel was going to go at some point. Kept leading. Decides to go, and he went on a great pitch that Drew Rogers could not control. So an easy 90 feet up to second base and a runner into scoring position for Brewster.
Yeah, but the silver lining from that outcome for Koshi was he got strike 2. He's in a 2-strike count now on Torres. We're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away and the runner on second. Koshi goes home. Just misses outside. Like the spot. Rogers tried to bring it inside the zone, but the count runs full. First base open, but the leadoff man, a switch hitting Adam Magpok, is on deck. 3-2 the count. Koshi grips it in his right hand, comes set at the belt. The pitch is skied, right field. Dubovic goes back, gives chase, it's off the wall. 1 run is in easily, and Torres cruises into second with a stand-up double, and in a 2-strike, 2-out count, he gives the Whitecaps some insurance. It's 5-3 Brewster in the bottom of the 8th.
That's a heartbreaker if you're Koshi. Worked so hard to get to that 2-strike count, and then Torres jumps on it and hits it into deep right field. Nearly went out of here. Hit off the wall. Go back to that play by Rogers. Maybe you have a shot at home if he doesn't take second base. But at the end of the day, he's a speedy guy. Probably would have gotten there anyway.
And Torres was hitless coming into this game. 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts. Jamie Shevchik bats him 9th. And the left-handed hitter is 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs, a pair of walks, and now an extra base hit. A fantastic day for the center fielder. Now top of the order, Adam Magpok. First pitch outside, ball 1. Koshi now trying to prevent any further damage, but the Whitecaps have another run in scoring position with a 5-3 lead. Koshi set, checks second once, now twice. Now lifts the right leg and goes home. The pitch is chopped foul, left side, 1-1.
It just hasn't felt like this Wareham bullpen has been in control tonight at all for the entirety, really, of this game. Outside of Aiden Kitchings, Finn Edwards and Andrew Koshi have gotten some quick outs, but have trouble stringing it together.
Connor Mohan got the start, went 4 innings, gave up 3 runs, all 3 earned. Departs with a 6.75 ERA in his Cape debut. As Magpok swings and skies it foul, hooking past the seats. It's 1-2. Aiden Kitchings' first call out of the pen for Ryan Smythe. Went 2 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Struggled with a little bit of command, though. 41 pitches, only 24 were inside the zone for strikes. Count 1-2 on Magpok, and it is outside. Rogers liked it, but doesn't get the call from Brendan Murphy, our home plate umpire. So Kitchings departed for making his Cape Cod debut. No runs allowed for the righty from North Carolina State. Finn Edwards came in for the second time this summer. 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 run as Magpok fights it and lifts it out of play. Another one left side and a couple of 2-strike pitches for the leadoff man out of San Diego State, and he is certainly making Andrew Koshi earn this out.
No doubt, and this the same count where Michael Torres hit that RBI double into right field.
2-2, 2 away. Right on left, Koshi takes a long look at second, now goes home and misses outside. Can't find the zone, and the count runs full with first base open and 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. Gatemen still down to their final 3 outs. 3-2. Popped foul behind home plate into the netting. So Adam Magpok, one of Brewster's returners, was the MVP for the Whitecaps last year. Switch hitter from San Diego State, 5'10" senior. Koshi spins it in his right hand. Getting the sign from Rogers. The two come to an agreement. 3-2, 2 away. Comes home. Misses inside. another one where Rogers seemingly liked the spot, but with first base open, not the end of the world. You don't want to give him a pitch to hit, and you certainly don't want Brewster to make it a 3-run game.
Just missed. It was on the corner there. Could have gone either way. Does not go the way of Wareham's, but it really doesn't change that much if you're Andrew Koshi.
So Torres remains on second after the RBI double. Magpok takes the stroll down the first base line and now brings up Jamie Laskowski. First pitch, he looks at it. It's outside for ball one. Laskowski 2 for 4 today. 2 singles, 2 flyouts. 1-0. Right on left, Kochi deals. Grounded foul. Stayed right there in between the legs of Drew Rogers off the end of the bat from Laskowski. Was 0 for 4 with a strikeout yesterday in a game that Brewster really wanted to feel like it could leave in the past. A 9-1 loss, but in the driver's seat for a bounce-back victory today, leading 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Pitch swung on, lifted to left field. Foster Apple camps under it, and he makes the grab for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before the Whitecaps add an insurance run. 2 hits, 1 run, no errors in the field, and 2 runners left on base for Brewster. Last chance for the Gatemen. When we return, it's the top of the order for Wareham to swing it when we return on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Wareham down to its final 3 outs. Currently trails Brewster 5-3 on a beautiful Tuesday night at Stony Brook Field. Alongside Dan Shalam, I'm Adam Hipsky. We thank you for spending your evening with us. A 5:03 first pitch, and now the Gatemen down to their final 3 outs. It's the top of the order, but it's not their typical guy at the leadoff spot. Chris Ramirez was hit by a pitch in the 5th, and in place, it's Jason Wax, the outfielder, played center today. First pitch out of the windup, he takes, it's a called strike, facing the reliever Jordan Martin back out for his 2nd inning of work. The 6'6" sophomore from Arkansas. 0-1, lifted foul, left side. Wax laid a bunt his last time up in the 7th. It was successful, moved a couple of runners into scoring position. That was when Wareham put up 2 in the 7th. 0-2 on Wax. Pitch misses outside, 1-2. Wax still in search of that first hit in this Cape League season. Pitch outside. Right now, Wax 0 for 12. He's back even in the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. Whitecaps with a huge run in the bottom of the 8th. Pad this lead to 2. The 2-2 count. Swing and a miss. Jason Wax now 0 for 13 this summer, and Martin gets the leadoff man retired in the top of the ninth.
You got to expect for someone of Jason Wax's caliber that it's going to come at some point. You have to trust the process here. He just committed to LSU about at 3:30, just around there in both years at Tulane. He is a highly skilled lefty bat, and it will come eventually.
First pitch to Foster Apple is swung on and clobbered. Left center field, down in the alley. Apple makes the turn, a sharp one, but he retreats to first base. A loud single off the bat of Foster Apple, but a guy that's trending in the completely opposite direction of Jason Wax. A now 3-hit day for the left fielder from Stetson.
And it makes sense why he got the promotion up to the 2-hole. Batted 9th last night, and he walked and was hit by a pitch and is making the most of his time at the top of the lineup.
Brings up Lincoln Garcia, who certainly feels like he's due. He's 0 for 4 with a strikeout today. The shortstop takes inside for ball 1. Garcia was 1 for 4 yesterday with an RBI. Tying run at the plate for the Gatemen in the top of the ninth, trailing 5-3. Martin takes a long pause, comes home. Inside, Garcia backpedaled out of the way to avoid being hit by the offering. A 78-mile-an-hour slider. It's 2-0.
Back-to-back sliders. Has really tried to work across the body, but hasn't gotten enough break.
Apple shuffles off the base at first. The 2-0 pitch. Hit on the ground. High chopper up the middle. Gloved by the second baseman, Laskowski. The throw to first. It's in time. What a play. A 4-3 putout, but that doesn't do it justice. Deep in the hole, across the bag, across his body. It doesn't phase Jamie Laskowski. And there are 2 down in the top of the ninth.
Head coach Ryan Smythe out of the dugout. He thought that Garcia was safe over there at first. Talking with the first base umpire, Garcia is still standing on the first base bag, and now the umpires are going to come in and talk about this one.
Well, I think the main thing, when you look down at first base, Curtis Byrne immediately pointed to the feet of the first baseman, Petey Kraska. And it was one heck of a lunge, no matter what, whether he kept his foot down or not. I'm not sure how you can overturn it right now, but Ryan Smythe doing his job. Garcia still put over there at first base. It's Dylan Dubovic due up. He'll swing it no matter what. It's just whether there will be 1 out or 2 out in the top of the ninth in a 5-3 game. All right, umpires conference. They keep the call that they made originally. It's out. There's 1 runner on, and it's Foster Apple at second.
That was just a great play. Backhanded. He threw it from behind second base, cross body. It was kind of a lazy fly ball of a throw because there was so much momentum going the opposite direction, but does enough to get the out.
Right on right, first pitch to Dubovic. He swings and misses. Down 0-1. Certainly capable power in the bat of Dylan Dubovic. He's 1 for 4 today with a single in the 4th. The 0-1. Swings and misses, and Dubovic trying to attack Martin, but the right-handed reliever is content with dancing around the zone with first base open and 2 down and a 2-run lead. 0-2, Martin checks second twice, now comes home, swing and a miss. Gets Dylan Dubovic to strike out for the second time today, this time on 3 pitches, and the Whitecaps win it. This time is their first in front of the home crowd in 2026. Brewster takes it 5-3 over Wareham, and the Gatemen finally pick up their first win last night, but the Whitecaps right back in the win column after a 9-1 loss yesterday. That does it from Stony Brook Field. Brewster moves to 2-2. Wareham drops to 1-3. The Gatemen 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors in the field. Brewster 5 runs on 11 hits, 1 error in the field for the Whitecaps. Dan, your final thoughts?
Just a struggle again for Wareham. The bullpen